word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, tomorrow about this time, child of God, may I pause and prophesy to somebody. In this life, there is a two occasion in a man's life. You have your today and you have your tomorrow. Maybe your tomorrow, your today is bad, your tomorrow will never be bad. Today you are struggling today, but tomorrow you never struggle. Today things are not working, but tomorrow you never struggle. Elijah said that tomorrow about this time, a fine flower of a shekel shall be sold for a shekel in Samaria. Tomorrow about this time, God is going to give you plenty. Why? Because at that time, the Bible said that there was a famine in Samaria, that it got to a point that the women in that time, they were killing their sons and their daughters to eat for food. But the Bible said that God sent forth a prophet, and that prophet was called Elisha. Man of God, the name Elisha simply means God is our salvation. Child of God, you can never be saved without God. Maybe you have gone through all kinds of life to be saved, to be healed from your disease, but you can never be saved without God. So the name Elisha simply means God is our salvation. I pray and I prophesy that wherever you are, God is going to save you. He is going to save your family. He is going to save your business. Whatever that you are going through, our God is about to save you. Colossians chapter 1 verse 13. The Bible says, for who have delivered us from the powers of darkness into the kingdom of light in their Son. So when you talk about salvation, salvation is deliverance. I pray and I prophesy that may God deliver you. May God deliver you. God is delivering from that bed. Wherever you find yourself, God is going to deliver you. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Child of God, the Bible says, Elisha said, tomorrow about this time, but thank God, the Bible says, at the gate of Samaria, there were 4 leprous men. Child of God, when you talk about leprosy in those days, if somebody is suffering from leprosy, it doesn't matter your color, it doesn't matter your certificate. If you are suffering from leprosy, you don't qualify to sit among the people of God, so you will sit outside the city. So the Bible says, these people were outside the city, and the Bible says, when they hear a word of grace, I call that word that spoken by Elisha a word of grace, according to Acts chapter 20 verse 33 verse 32. I beg your pardon. The Bible said that I commit you to God and to the words of his grace that can be able to establish you, for you to inherit the thing that you have in store for your life. So anytime that the word of God comes forth, it comes for you to inherit, it comes for you to possess. So the Bible said that these 4 lepers, they were at the side of the city, and they said that why are we sitting here until we die? We must wake up. We must begin to change our generation. We must begin to impart our generation. So the Bible says, no, let us connect to this grace so that we can impart our generation. Child of God, you can never impart your generation until you wake up and receive grace. Somebody will ask me, man of God, how can I receive grace? You can never receive grace until you have an encounter with Jesus. When you have an encounter with Jesus, you receive grace. The Bible says that for the grace, according to John chapter 1 verse 17, the Bible said that the law was given to Moses, but the grace and love came through Jesus Christ. So when you encounter Jesus, you encounter grace. Today I pray and I prophesy, wherever you are, may you begin to encounter Jesus. Encounter Jesus in that family. Encounter Jesus in wherever you are. Maybe you have not encountered Jesus. He is the author and the finisher of our faith. The only thing that can change your life, the only thing that can cause you to make impact, is you having a relationship with Jesus. You can never change your generation until you have a relationship with Jesus. Child of God, the Bible said this 4 leprous men. Now, when you say somebody is having a leprosy, number 1, if somebody is having a leprosy in those days, that person is suffering from a relational problem. Relational problem, because in those days, if you are suffering from leprosy, you don't qualify to relate to people. Somebody is listening to me. You have a relationship problem. Beginning of this year, you enter into relationship and break up. Anytime you enter into relationship, disappointment. But today, God is going to solve that problem. Amen. Jesus is going to solve that problem. Amen. Jesus is going to solve that problem. Amen. Now, when you say somebody is a leper is somebody who is having an economical problem. Okay. Because if you have an economical problem, you depend on people to survive. That's it. A leper can never go into the bank and walk, because lepers, you are not permitted to come among people. But God is about to solve your financial problem. Money does not touch in your hands. You work like an elephant and you eat like an ant. But today I prophesy, by the grace upon my father, Dr. Prince Afwapa, God is going to break that poverty. Any poverty spirit upon your head is going to be broken by power. In the name of Jesus, that poverty is breaking. That financial power is breaking. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Now, where somebody is having leprosy, that person is suffering from emotional problem. Emotionally, that person is not sound. All the time, when people are rejoicing, you are sad. But I thank God. The Bible says, for the joy of the Spirit, for joy of the Lord is my strength. You know something? Money can give you happiness. Money can give you happiness. Your house can give you happiness. Your wife can give you happiness. But your wife can never give you joy. Joy is the product of the Spirit. The Bible says, for the fruit of the Spirit is joy. The Bible says in Psalm 30, verse number 5, the Bible says, for its anger endure, but for a moment weeping may endure, but for a night by joy will come in the morning. Today I prophesy that joy is coming on your way. You have cried for far too long, but joy is coming on your way. 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 Receive the joy of the Spirit. That hospital bed, receive the joy of the Spirit. That location you find yourself, receive the joy of the Spirit. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Child of God, these 4 leprous men, they were suffering from spiritual problem. In those days, if you are a leper, you have no right to relate with God. As a matter of fact, the law, according to Leviticus chapter 13, verse 45, the law was made by God himself. He said that if somebody is a leper, take him outside the city, let him sit there and sew a coat, and right in front of the coat, I am unclean. So anytime the leper is coming, he will be shouting, I'm unclean, I'm unclean, I'm unclean. But it takes only the grace of God to break the law. Jesus Christ came not to introduce law, but he came to introduce grace. He came to change the equation. Today I am praying for somebody. Any demonic law in your family, any satanic law against your life, that men will never rise up, that the woman will never move forward. Today God is changing that thing for you. He's changing that thing for you. He's changing that thing for you. He's changing that thing for you. So the Bible says these people, they were suffering from all these problems, and they made up their mind that they will connect to grace. When they connected to grace, the Bible says they make a step of faith. Child of God, for you to have grace, I told you that you must have an encounter with Jesus. Anytime a man have an encounter with Jesus, that man's life will change, because it takes only grace to change a man from another person to another person. Paul says something in 1 Corinthians 15 verse 10. He said, I, Paul, I am who I am today, not because I am educated. I am who I am today because by the grace of God. Child of God, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter your certificate. It doesn't matter your strength. You need the grace of God to impact your generation. You need the grace of God to stand the time of time. And I pray for you that today grace is going to locate you. Grace is coming upon you. Grace is going to locate you. In the name of Jesus. Man of God, Acts chapter 4 verse 13. The Bible says when the people, when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, they perceive that they are uneducated and they are unschoolmen, but they have been with Jesus. A child of God, you can never walk with Jesus without getting grace. Anytime you encounter Jesus, you encounter grace. For you to get impartation, for you to impart your generation, you must have a link with Jesus. And after having a link with Jesus, you must walk in faith. Tell your neighbor, walk in faith. Walk in faith. Christianity is God reaching out to man. It is not man reaching out to God. Christianity is God who reached out to the depth of man. So anytime you receive Christ, you might begin to walk in faith. Some people will tell you that you can never succeed, and you tell them I will succeed. Isaiah chapter 3 verse 10, that shall say to the righteous that it shall be well with thee. Child of God, when you tell somebody, Christianity is a walk of faith and a talk of faith. As you walk in faith, you talk with faith. As you walk in faith, you talk in faith. Bible says without faith, it is impossible to please God. Today I pray for you. May God increase your faith. May God increase your faith. May God increase your faith. In the name of Jesus. May God increase your faith. The last thing For you to impart your generation, you must have a link with the Holy Ghost. You must be imparted with the Holy Ghost. You must be filled with the Holy Ghost. Paul said you shouldn't be drunk with wine, but you must be filled with the Spirit of God. Today I pray for somebody. May the Holy Ghost enter into your family. May he enter into your church. May he enter into your family. In the name of Jesus. So this 4 leprous men, the Bible says he break into the camp of their enemies. And when they enter into the camp of their enemies, they change the color of the situation by bringing victory to the people of Samaria. These people that were unqualified, these people that men rejected them, these people that men were mocking them. But today I need to tell somebody, maybe they mock you, maybe you have been rejected, but the Bible says the stone that the builders, they have rejected. It shall become the chief cornerstone. The grace of my Father is here, and I prophesy God is going to change your situation. God is going to change the situation. God is going to change the situation. In the name of Jesus, receive grace right now. Receive grace right now. Receive grace right now. In the name of Jesus. Thank you, Holy Spirit. My God, child of God, tomorrow we are having 3 services. Number 7, Anthony Egwe. Wherever you are, you take Sapero Road, and then you alight at Ajib, and you tell them you are coming to Ubo Village Road. Number 7, Anthony Egwe Street. You alight at Nico Filling Station, opposite that Nico Filling, the test street. Spirit of Dominion Chapel. Tomorrow our first service start by 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. our second service, and our third service in 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Child of God, join the 7 tomorrow, because the grace of my Father will be available. It will be available to heal the sick. It will be available to raise the dead. It will be available to heal your sick in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Lord. We have few minutes. We are going to open the line. Call us for prayers. Call us for prayers. Call us for prayers wherever you are. Call us for prayers. Now listen to the line, the studio line. 0706
0706
263 92 75 0706 263 9275 0903 939 44 27. Right now, call this line. Call this line. Call this line for prayers. Call this line for prayers. Call this line for prayer. Hello?
Hello, good evening, sir.
The Lord bless you. The Lord bless you.
I just listened to your program. I was very impressed.
The Lord bless you.
If someone is coming from all the way from India, I say, Abuela, where am I going to stop at? You said
Ubo village. The Lord bless you. After here, we will put our church line. We will put our church line. We will put our church line here. We will call the church line. We will direct you. God bless you. God bless you, sir. Please, I want to take this opportunity to invite you 28th of this month to the 1st of the next month, December. 28th of November to the next month, 1st of December is our Thanksgiving. Child of God, I want to join us wherever you are. Come and let's thank God, because the Bible says Psalm 1 verse 4, it says enter into his gate with thanksgiving and enter into his court with praise. Join us and your life will never be the same. Hello? The Lord bless you, please. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the good work.
We thank God. The grace of my Father is here. Father, I stand in the grace of my Father and I pray for your son. From today, the spirit of poverty has been broken. Amen. In the name of Jesus, God bless you. God bless you. Hello? The Lord bless you, beloved. Beloved, after this, you can call the church line. You can call the church line 0816 32 99561 0905 77 11814. That is the church line. You can call us for prayers and for direction. Hello? Hello? Please tune down your radio. Please tune down your radio. Please. Hello? Hello? Hello, please, we are here with you. Okay. The Lord bless you, sir. Hello? Please go. Please, we will give the information. We will give the information. We call the church line, we will give the information, we will give you the direction. God bless you for calling. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
The Lord bless you, sir. The Lord bless you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my dear. The Lord bless you.
My name is Pamela.
Okay.
I'll be special for my complaints, please. So I'm just informed because I went to the hospital. I was having some symptoms, so I have to go to the hospital. So the doctor said I'm on complaints, please. So I just need the prayer.
Wow, God bless you. It's good you went to the hospital. Please let me pray for you. Father, in the name of Jesus, we command, oh God, anything that is, oh God, struggling her, take your healing right now. In the name of Jesus, you are healed in the name of Jesus. Join us for the Holy service and your life will never be the same. Hello? Okay. The Lord bless you. The Lord bless you. Please call this church line 0816 32 99 561. Hello?
Hello?
The Lord bless you. The Lord bless you.
You can use my prayer for my family, for God's intervention.
Father, in the name of Jesus, thank you, Holy Spirit. Let me pray. Father, in the name of, I pray, let your grace invade her family. Amen. In the name of Jesus, you are blessed. Find yourself in tomorrow's service and your life will never be the same. God bless you. Call this line right now, 0707. The Lord bless you. Yes, please.
My BP is going over.
Father, I stand in the grace of my Father. I pray any DP challenge right now, it's terminated. Amen. In the name of Jesus, receive your healing right now. Amen. You are healed in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Hello? Hello? Please call this line 0706 263 29275. Call this line right now 0903 939 4427. God bless you. Hello?
God bless you, sir.
God bless you, sir. As I do.
I'm okay, sir.
Okay, God bless you.
I need a prayer of financial breakthrough.
Father, I stand in the grace of my Father, oh God. Let the grace for prosperity be released upon your son. In Jesus' name. Amen. God bless you. God bless you.
Hello?
Hello? Good evening, my dear. God bless you.
I wanted to say something.
Please, go ahead.
I'm a student. I do it. I know that maybe I need to take some time to see that. Just supposed to come into your ears. I want to pray for me.
You need serious prayers. Call the church line. Call the church line after this prayer. Father, I commit your daughter before you. I pray by the grace of my Father, receive your healing right now. Amen. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. After this, call the church line. Call the church line. Okay. God bless you. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, the Lord bless you. Good evening, the Lord bless you. Okay, please tune down your radio for me.
Okay,
God bless you. Okay, it's okay. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
So I want to know your faith because I'm looking for a program like Holy Blood.
You Yes, the Lord bless you. The Lord bless you. You will put the church line. You will put the address after this. So continue to stay with your radio. Continue to stay with it, and your life will never be the same. God bless you. Okay. Please, tomorrow we have service. Wherever you are, I am inviting you tomorrow. Please join the service tomorrow. The grace of God is in the place. The power of God is in the place. Number 7 Anthony Egbe Street off Ubo Village Road. Wherever you are coming from, you take separate road. You are light at Ajib, you take a you tell them you are coming to Ubo Village Road. You are light at Nikop filling station. When you get to Nikop opposite filling station, you see the church signboard. You see my father on the signboard, Spirit of Dominion Chapel. Well, after this, we will put the church line on the listening call for more direction, and your life will never be the same. Your life will never be the same. Praise God. The Lord bless you.
I want to invite you for our program that will be starting on 28th of this November to end with a Thanksgiving service on 1st of December.
Yes.
Come and give God thanks. Thanksgiving is a bulldozer.
Yes.
It opens ways. Make sure you are there. Come and give God thanks. Join us as we celebrate.
Yes,
join us as we give God thanks. For the Almighty God will bless you. Hallelujah. Remember that this is Spirit of Dominion Chapel International, number 7 Anthony Egbe Street off Ubo Village Road, Benin City. Opposite Nipco filling station, the road opposite there. If you're coming from Rainbow, please stop at Ajib. Enter Keke that is going to Ubo Village Road. Tell them that you're going to Spirit of Dominion Chapel. And you will be there. God bless you.
My God, God bless you, my man. God bless you. God bless you. You heard my name. So tomorrow, find yourself in the service, and your life will never be the same. Once again, the Lord increase the grace upon my father. Wherever you are, he is. May God increase. May God empower him. In the name of Jesus Christ. Yes. The church line. I want to take the church line once again. Take the church line. Call this line. 0816 32 99 561. Please take this line again. 0905 77 11 814. Please call the church line for prayers and direction. Your life will never be the same. God bless you. I send you greeting from my father, Dr. Prince Afakwa. Next week, my father will be in this place. Continue to listen to KUFM, and your life will never be the same. God bless all the workers in KUFM, and my host, Brother Francis. God bless you. God richly bless you. Hallelujah. In Jesus' name. Amen.
KUFM. The best of everything. KUFM 92.7. Turn on excitement. KUFM. KUFM.
Greatest of the
92.7 KUFM.
All the programs on KU 92.7 are now open for sponsorship and advert placements. For sponsorship and advert placements, call now for inquiries 070-380-50243 or 080-8877-3644 or visit KUFM Marketing Office located at the top floor of the Enterprise Foundation Building, number 62, Ihama Road, Benin City, Edo State. 92.7 KUFM is your business growth partner.
Everybody wants to know more of this and more of that. What is happening around the globe? Me, myself, I want to know. Such love, cause I got good news for you. The best station is knocking on your door. Just sit back and relax. Just sit back and relax. Cause all you have to do is tune into 92.7 KUFM. 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 Tune into 92.7 into 92.7 into
92.7 KUFM. Turn on excitement.
I've been open, new doors, new gates, I've been open. I've been out walking. You know, I know, you've been slowing down, down. You've been slowing down, down. To the flames, oh. me so. My paloma, chiquito, my love. Mona, mama do me so. My paloma, say money, money, baby, money, baby, money, baby, money, baby, I said, do, baby, do, I said, baby, my baby do me so, my paloma, she carry on my love. Mona, mama do me so, my paloma. I say give me money, oh baby why not for me? It's me give me money, it's me the money for me. Give me money, oh baby why not for me? It's me give me money, you need the money for me. Baby dance a mark, I give it bad man pays a mark. Oh baby kiss your waist a mark, you make it bad man pays a mark. I said my baby dance a mark, I give it bad man pays a mark. Oh baby kiss your waist a mark, you make it bad man pays a mark. Mama do me so, oh no, my baby do me so, my paloma, she carry on my love. Oh no, mama do me so, my paloma. For me, you make me cool. You come my way, come in, you got to know. Say you're the man for me, shoot me, shoot. You be the one who like my fire. Come down, let me take you high. Slow down, go dirty accent. My fire, fire, fire,
92.7 KUFM.
Fire, baby, don't you come my home, don't you come my home. You waste my time, baby. I took me your time, I took me your love. Won't you please be more? Hello, Amaka. Hello, Amaka. Oh, Amaka, oh, Amaka, hello, Amaka. Hello, Amaka. Oh, Amaka, you really want to like my fire. Come down, let me take you high. Slow
darling. Oh, darling. Watch your love for the why not? Push it in Papa don't see it. Why now, my lady? Tell me what's in your body. I'm a damn ass easy, baby. Why you wanna give me control? If you want to get out, I'm a make up my eye. I'm a need up and I don't mind. I'm a need up and do maybe. I don't want to maybe. Maybe don't go got it. Maybe let me see. Don't see baby. Fine girl, make you know what they do, fine boy like this. So if I hear see one thing, I go vex. Opinion, Messi, I get oh yeah, I'm only yeah.
92.7 KUFM.
I'm a sexy I'm a make up my eye. I'm a need dog and I go my eye. I'm a need dog and maybe I'm need maybe don't go by it. Maybe let one me see. Oh yeah, cause me oh baby
KUFM.
What have you do to get your love? Girl, I don't give you all I got, but you not enough for you. Shake you fire me, catapult, oh, now I just say I don't be getting enough for you. Yeah, waiting me down, nothing I can't do for my baby. Anytime when you need me come through, my side, wallet. Waiting me down, nothing I can't do for my baby. My shawty, oh baby, my baby, say you there for me, as I there for you. Baby, say you there for me, as I there for you. Waiting me down, nothing I can't do for my baby. Anytime when you need me come through, my shawty, wallet. Waiting me down, nothing I can't do for my baby. My shawty, my baby. What you wanna do, girl, where you wanna go? Cause anywhere you go, girl, I will follow, go. Cause I like the way you back it up, the way you go down low. And that's the reason that you ain't know you are. Baby, you the baddest. Step on the dance floor and show you my dress. I'll be a king, you be more your highness. Shut up for the girl, then you are the flowers. Baby, say you there for me, as I there for you. Baby, say you there for me. As I there for you. Oh, no, no.
Give me 92.7 KUFM.
Like you give it's boy down so give me billion. Like you give bricks. Like you give body be your picking. Me and you say you're not perfect, but making all that to poverty don't be my own punishment. Make it bless me for my mama. Make it bless me for my papa. Lord, you know the street is not so funny, yo. Baba is in me. Baba is in me. Only you fit is in me. Only you fit do it for me. Baba is in me. Baba is in me. Only you fit is in me. Only you fit do it for me. Open my way. Like you give all the dollar, like you give all the muta. Give me billion dollar, like you give all the bricks, like you give all the money. The only to look rich for Instagram, make us to get the money for the life. Cause I got money to pay bills, that's on the coco. No be can you say I'm a go? Nah, don't do it. Who no go? Baba is in me. Baba is in me. Only you fit is in me. Only you fit do it for me. Baba is in me. Baba is in me. Only you fit is in me. Only you fit do it for me. Somebody, what if you carry person? From that child to duplex. What if you make a person? From nobody to somebody. What if you carry person? From that child to line. But now we do them, now we don't they prosper. Every rank and the blessing they enter. Left and right, the blessing just they enter. I say blessing and they enter. Even an accept and they enter. The moon and they enter. And so that is said it and they enter.
92.7 KUFM.
I say the baddest and they enter. I say the best is and they enter. Everything that's more than they enter. Say Papa God na prayer be the prayer. Say the enter. I know say blessing when they follow man na you they run them. People when the bank I'm not get to it that you run them. This year people go celebrate me cause so they go enter. Don't let me to beg my brother for food. Don't let me to beg for club to hear my brother. Don't let me to beg for money to feed family. Don't let me to cry in the daytime. Say blessing and they enter. We are not on the enter. I want this to enter. Power, enter. Riches, enter. Some people will say them love you, them go pull you down. Then carry your matter for head like pain are them to hold you past. Them go hold you, them go press you. If you turn your back, they go stop you. Make friends around that say that just to pull you down. Don't let me to beg my brother for food. Don't let me to beg for blood to get my brother. Don't let me to beg for money to feed family. Don't let me to cry in the daytime. 10 million don't enter. Billions don't enter. $1 million cent don't enter. Every day enter. You're also there, but you never show. My brother, expect to get today. I'm here with my people. It's about the grace of God. That's the only way I know. Lamborghini don't be enter. You are going to enter. Mercedes don't enter. Enter. Everything will enter. Enter. 10 million don't enter. Millions don't enter. $1 million don't enter. Every day they enter. I love you. Nice people need to just check.
KUFM.
I want you to story now from the situation I tell for area. Just not just my head, what to say. I became a boy and I like to talk money. I like too much money. I still like them. I got a little body. I don't like your body. You're so good, all that type of money. If I make this money, I go buy food like it. If I make this money, I go buy Ferrari. If I make this money, I go flex like I'm not telling us I won't play. I go make this money. I won't play. You know my guys back. Oh, that my job like I when they stay at control. Coming to more matter happen for area. As I follow you, they are for person don't go. There's controversial when they say they do. I don't want $1 million when they see somebody shoot. The matter they say the guy they work with crime. Say I made they rock money for the client. Then she fit. They won't come die the money. For this small worry, they won't guide this money. Some kind brand for the area. They be there, they learn to give their money back to the enemy. They don't enter motor, they go find the people. Took a lack of the size, all of them keep up. One day always don't take fucking gun down. Enter speed better, I mistakenly gun number for front speaker. Never don't confuse. Don't turn the yard to the face road. The can't trailer when you come out. Now this can't trailer when they carry me. If I make this money, I go life full like it. If I make this money, I go life Ferrari. If I make this money, I go flex like my mom. If I make So I pray. So one day, once you go get money, you don't know what is bandits. You know how much they get when they do for their 20s. You go up to one bag, you say your money in there. They laugh, when they drive to go. The reason life, some of them not back their play. The team putting that they do want the money show. Once they music, the rest in that. And try buy on their many. You know, for being the only thing when they know that they won't say, but one thing they get around. So he cocky, now the guy say the nose face the guys for front seat. See police for front, guys. You know, see this people better. We jam up, move. Accidental discharge, you know, man, don't move. Before night, say, if you make this money, paga, you go buy Bugatti, paga, you go take the money, paga, buy everything, paga. Before you hear paga, if I don't move, then you take paga. It's not believe I some of them have got big money. He cannot take care of money. Some money that become big need and people say people pay big money. Something that sent to me mama and we got used to me daily of course. Send such a bad Jab a kid to me each and every day we will pray.
92.7 KUFM. 92.7 KUFM News. Concise, precise, balanced, unbiased.
We are live from Benin City to the world.
This is 92.7 KUFM Newsbreak.
The time is 7:30 p.m. Good evening and welcome to Newsbreak on KU 92.7 FM Benin City. First, the headlines. Dixon calls for cancellation of elections in Membe, Southern Ijaw. Christian lawyers kick against social media bill. President Buhari says Vice President's aides not sacked but redeployed. On entertainment, Oscar winner Monique sues Netflix for pay discrimination. And in sports, Roger Federer stunned by Stefanos Tsitsipas in semi-finals of ATP Finals. Details of these and more after this break. I am Charles Oporum. Now the news in detail. Governor Seriake Dixon has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to cancel the election in parts of the state where the exercise was characterized by thuggery and hijacking of electoral materials and personnel. A statement from the Bayelsa State Government said Governor Dixon particularly called for outright cancellation of the exercise in Membe local government. According to the governor, rogue elements in the Nigerian army connived with thugs to perpetrate electoral fraud and insecurity in some parts of southern Ijaw, Ekeremo and Ogbia, and even the state capital, Yenagoa. Governor Dixon, who highlighted the gruesome killings during the PDP campaign in Membe, noted that what is going on in Bayelsa is a charade and not a democracy. He said some of the PDP supporters who were attacked during the campaign in Membe are still gasping for breath on their hospital beds and called on the federal government to live up to its primary responsibility of protecting the lives and property of Nigerians. INEC's Commissioner in charge of Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, says election results from polling units where there were reported cases of ballot box snatching may be cancelled, depending on reports from the presiding officer in such units. Okoye also said the Commission is not aware of allegations made by the People's Democratic Party that Governor Yahaya Bello and the APC is forcing the Commission to sign pre-filled results. The INEC National Commissioner told newsmen that if there are areas where ballot box snatching was reported, the presiding officer is expected to write a report on such an incident to the electoral officer stating the issues concerned. According to him, the report from the presiding officer from such units will help the Commission to determine whether the results will be cancelled outright or not. He said until such reports are received from the officers in the field, the Commission will not take a decision on it. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) has declared Saturday's governorship election in Bayelsa State as very peaceful. NSCDC Assistant Commandant General Ideba Pedro, who led the monitoring team for the election, gave the remark in an interview with newsmen at Fankuku Primary Health Center polling unit in APA 3, Amarata Yenagua. Pedro said his team from the national headquarters, Abuja, had monitored many polling units, and reports from the Situation Room also indicated that the elections had been peaceful. He described the working relationship among security agencies on election duty in Bayelsa as very robust. Still in Bayelsa, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has cancelled voting in Ulugi, Ward 3 of Ogbea local government area due to violence. A senior official of the commission was quoted as saying that violence in the area, including manhandling of electoral officials, led to the cancellation. According to INEC Supervisory Resident Electoral Commissioner for Ogbea local government area, Ukachuku Oje, members of the Ulugi community forcibly prevented election in the riverine areas. He spoke in Otuoki, Ward 13 of Ogbea local government area, where President Goodluck Jonathan and his family voted, saying that election in the community was cancelled as a result of the violence. He expressed satisfaction that election has been smooth in other communities that form the LGA except in Ulugi. Elections have been disrupted in Ward 2, Lokoja, as gunshots were fired into the air by suspected thugs who made away with ballot boxes. It was gathered that voters in the Ajayi Crowther Memorial School scampered for safety. Commencement of voting in the polling unit, which is the biggest in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital, had a delay due to late arrival of security officials. Meanwhile, in Ayetoro 2, polling unit 003 in Kogi West Senatorial District, thugs disrupted the voting exercise and destroyed ballot boxes. The polling unit, which is next to the office of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC), had littered all over ballot papers and destroyed boxes. The Senate has introduced a new bill that seeks to consign the management of constituency projects initiated by federal lawmakers. The bill, when passed, would deny ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government from having any inputs awarding contracts or projects captured under the constituency fund. The bill seeks the setting up of a special fund made up of 2.5% of the yearly budget to be dedicated to constituency projects. The bill also stipulated that the fund, when set up, would be managed by the Rural Development Department of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Presently, constituency projects of lawmakers are captured in the capital allocation of relevant MDAs. The MDAs also award the contracts and determine the execution of the projects. The practice had led to outcry by lawmakers who often complain that funds for projects allocated against their names are never released or suffer poor releases, which often stall the implementation of such projects. Christian lawyers in Nigeria have kicked against the federal government's move to regulate the social media, saying it is an attempt to muzzle freedom of speech. The legal practitioners under the auspices of Christian Lawyers Fellowship of Nigeria Class Fund asked the government to take the issue of security more seriously because judges, lawyers, and security personnel have become targets of kidnappers. Class Fund stated this in a communique issued at the end of its President-in-Council meeting in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. The communique, jointly signed by the National President and the National Secretary Arome Okori and Tunji Omole, said Nigeria has enough legislation to check the abuse of free speech through legal processes such as libel and defamation suit. The lawyers also asked the federal and state government to declare a state of emergency on the welfare of judicial officers, funding for state judiciaries, and the working environment for the administration of justice nationwide. Claspon also frowned at what it described as the way and manner multiple taxes, rates and charges are being imposed on the already impoverished citizens of Nigeria, and called on the government to reverse the trend and mitigate the hardship on Nigerians. President Muhammadu Buhari has explained that 35 aides were not sacked from the office of the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, but that they were redeployed to a new ministry. The President, who fielded questions from State House correspondents at the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja upon his return from a private visit from the United Kingdom, described the interpretations of his directives as unfortunate. The President described what happened as a reorganization and not sacking, stressing that a new ministry known as the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development has recently been created. While media reports had widely reported the sack of 35 aides, including the circulation of a list of those sacked, informed sources insisted that what the President directed was redeployment and not a sack. The President's comment in the interview was confirmed that the 35 aides were not sacked, but rather redeployed. The federal government is set to build a new seaport estimated to cost $800 million in Pesu area of Warri in Delta State. The Minister of Transportation, Right Honorable Rotimi Amici, disclosed this on Thursday at the Petroleum Training Institute Conference Center in Weir Council area of Delta State. Amici, who was in company of the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo San, and the Director General, National Directorate of Employment, Dr. Nasiru Ladan Argungu, tasked youths of the area to support the forthcoming project. The trio were in the state to present starter packs, micro-enterprise enhancement loans and resettlement packages to 1,700 women and youths under the National Directorate of Employment Empowerment Program. The Court of Appeal, sitting in Abuja on Friday, dismissed the suits filed by the All Progressives Congress APC and its candidate Great Ogboru against the election of Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa as governor of Delta State. A 5-member panel of the appellate court, led by Justice Uzo Ndukwe Anyanwu, in a unanimous judgment dismissed the appeal for lack of merit and upheld the judgment of the lower tribunal. The panel held that the judgment of the lower tribunal could not be set aside unless where it is perverse. They further held that the appellants failed to prove their case. The respondents in the appeal were Okowa, the PDP, and INEC. Ogboru and his party, APC, prayed the court to overturn the decision of the Delta Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which returned Okowa for a second term as governor of Delta State. INEC had declared Okowa and PDP winner of the March 9th governorship election in Delta State, having garnered majority of the lawful votes cast in the election. But the appellant, in a 37 grounds of appeal filed by their counsel, Nichols Nicheko, asked the Court of Appeal to set aside the entire judgment of the tribunal on the grounds that the tribunal erred in law when it dismissed the appeal for lacking in merit. Another now to Ondo State, where the Ondo State government has commenced the rehabilitation of the failed portions of both states and federal roads across the 18 local government areas of the state. The State Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Saka Yusuf Ogunle, made this known to newsmen in Akure on Friday. He said the state government had to carry out the repair as it had become inevitable. Ogunle said the exercise took off in Ondo Town, Ondo West local government area on Friday to prevent the total collapse of the road and as well bring succor to the users. The commissioner explained that different equipment had been deployed to the Valentino junction of the Ondo Ife Road, where the rehabilitation work will begin. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has announced the release of 132 million naira for the payment of the monthly allowances of corps members serving in the state. Wike disclosed this during a courtesy visit by the Governing Council of the National Youth Service Corps to the Government House in Port Harcourt on Friday. The governor explained that the payment process has been activated by his administration. Governor Wike added that funds have been released for the construction of drainage, completion of the 5,000 capacity auditorium, 3,000 mattresses and 1,500 double bunk beds for the NYSC Permanent Orientation Camp at Norwa. He promised that the 5,000-seater auditorium at the Permanent Orientation Camp will be delivered to the NYSC Governing Council in May 2020. He urged the NYSC management to work out the issue of security at the NYSC Orientation Camp, with the Nigerian Army and other security agencies. No fewer than 70 staff of the National Examinations Council (NECO) have been dismissed for certificate forgery. The dismissal of the affected staff was approved at NECO's 17th extraordinary meeting of the governing board after vetting reports by a verification committee set up by the management. The dismissal was contained in a statement signed by the head of Information and Public Relations, Aziz Sani, in Mina. It was gathered that majority of the staff belonged to the junior cadre, while few senior staff were affected. The statement said the dismissal of the staff was as a result of a report submitted by a committee constituted to verify the certificates of staff by the management of NECO. The statement added that the dismissal is the first phase in the series of the ongoing staff certificates verification exercise in the Council. The West African Examinations Council on Friday released the results of 91,225 private candidates that sat for the 2019 West African Senior School Certificate Examination (WASC) in Nigeria. The head of the Nigerian National Office of WAEC, Olu Adenikbeku, in a statement said a total of 97,080 candidates registered for the examination in Nigeria, out of which 94,884 candidates sat the examination. Adenikbeku said out of the 94,884 candidates that sat the examination, 91,225 candidates, representing 96.14%, have their results fully processed and released, while 3,659 candidates, representing 3.86%, have a few of their subjects still being processed. The head of the Nigerian National Office of WAEC also disclosed that of the total number of candidates that sat the examination in Nigeria, 47,237 were male, while 47,647 were female, representing 49.78% and 50.22% respectively. He said a total of 9,457 candidates, representing 9.74%, were reported to have been involved in examination malpractices, and their cases will be presented to the appropriate committee of council for appropriate action. He said the council's decision will be communicated to the affected candidate within the shortest possible time. He added that the council in Nigeria had also perfected its electronic certificate management system, an online portal being deployed to enable private candidates to request their certificates online. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, says it is set to commence the verification of centers that may be considered for use ahead of preparations for its 2020 All-Computer-Based Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. The head media and information of the board, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, made the disclosure to newsmen on Friday in Lagos. According to him, preparations are already in top gear by the board to ensure that set standards for the smooth execution of the exercise is intact. The spokesman dissociated the board from reports making the rounds by a group of individuals in some sections of the media that JAMB's move to commence the center verification was allegedly of a short notice, ill-timed, and designed to push a lot of the center owners out of business. He said the board did not recognize the group, who call themselves owners of CBT Center Proprietors Association of Nigeria, CTAN, whom, according to him, had called a news conference to raise the allegation against the board. Benjamin said, for any center to pass the verification test, it must strive to provide all the necessary requirements needed, as the board will not compromise on the quality of centers to be used. He therefore implored genuine CBT center owners not to be deterred by the antics of any group of individuals seeking to distract the public. Up next is entertainment and sports right after this break. Stay with us, please.
take you along. We want to tell you our story, because you need to be told. Get all the breaking news, entertainment stories, sport gist, and all other content we have for you on our website, www.kufm.net. You can also listen to us live on the website, wherever you are, anywhere in the world. What more can you ask for? Check out our pictures, event, and profile of our OAPs on the website, cause we are classy, urban, and contemporary. Yeah, let me sound it again. www.kufm.net. KUFM, turn on excitement.
Welcome back. Glad to know you're still with us. You're still on to Newsbreak on KU 92.7 FM Bedouin City, and over now to entertainment, where Oscar-winning actress Monique has filed a pay discrimination lawsuit against Netflix, alleging that the streaming giant offered her less money than it did to white and male performers because she is a black woman. Monique, also a singer and comedian, said in the lawsuit that a proposed $500,000 fee from Netflix in 2018 to make a stand-up comedy special was a discriminatory lowball offer. While Netflix has strongly denied the allegation, it maintained that it cared deeply about inclusion, equity, and diversity, and takes any accusation of discrimination very seriously. Monique, whose real name is Monique Hicks, won the Best Supporting Academy Award for her portrayal of an abusive mother in 2009's Precious. That same year, she began hosting her own talk show, which was cancelled in 2011. Her last film was 2016's Almost Christmas, according to IMDb. The lawsuit filed at a Los Angeles court said the offer perpetuated the pay gap suffered by black women. The document referred to higher offers reportedly made to male comedians by Netflix, including Jerry Seinfeld, Eddie Murphy, and Ricky Gervais. Multiple Grammy award-winning singer Taylor Swift has alleged in a Twitter essay that music manager Scooter Braun and Big Nation label group's founder Scott Borchetta have banned her from performing a medley of her old hits. The singer, who is set to be honored with the Artist of the Decade at the 2019 American Music Awards, AMA, pleaded with her fans to help her stop Braun and Borchetta. According to the 29-year-old songstress, Braun and Borchetta would not let her perform any of the songs from these records at the American Music Awards on November 24th. In the past, Swift has called Braun a manipulative bully after he acquired the masters to her first 6 albums in June of 2019. As a refresher, Borchetta signed Swift onto Big Machine Records when she was just 15 years old. She announced her decision to leave BMLG in November 2018 and went on to sign with Republic Records and Universal Music Group. Aside the AMA drama, Swift has also revealed that a Netflix documentary about her is in the works. And finally, on entertainment, Nigerian superstar Davido has released the track list for his upcoming sophomore album, A Good Time. The album has 17 tracks and it features Naira Marley, Peruzzi, Zlatan, Gunna, A Boogie with the Hoodie, Summer Walker, Chris Brown, and Popcorn. On the back of the album, there is a picture of Davido, his dad, and a statue of his late mom. This comes a few days after the birth of Davido's 3rd child and first son. The album was made available for pre-order a few days ago. It is also set to finally drop on November 23rd, 2019. And that's it on entertainment. Over now to sports, where debutant Stefanos Tsitsipas caused a major shock by ending Roger Federer's chances of landing a record extending 7th ATP finals to reach Sunday's showpiece. The Swiss master, who was aiming to reach Sunday's showpiece of the ATP finals for an 11th time and first since 2015, was battered by the young pupil from Greece as Tsitsipas landed a breathtaking 6-3, 6-4 victory to make it through to the final. He will now take on the winner of the second semi-final between defending champion Alexander Zverev and Austria's Dominic Thiem, who play later on Saturday night. A year after winning the next-gen ATP finals in Milan, Tsitsipas had been hoping to follow Zverev as a second successive 21-year-old champion. The Greek made the perfect start by winning 4 of the opening 5 games as the pair went toe-to-toe. And finally, on sports this evening, the Super Eagles have arrived in Maseru for Sunday's 2021 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match against the Crocodiles of Lesotho. The players and their officials left the Akwa Ibom Airport, Uyo, in the early hours of Saturday and arrived at the Moshosho International Airport, Maseru, in the afternoon. Generals Charges edged out the Squirrels of Benin Republic 2-1 in the first match of the 2021 AFCON qualifying Group L on Wednesday at the Akwa Ibom International Stadium, Uyo. Sunday's game will take place at the Setsoto Stadium, Maseru. And that's it on sports. And with the sports stories, we come to the end of our package this evening. But before we go, here's a quick recap of the headlines. In the bulletin this evening, we told you that Governor Dixon has called for an outright cancellation of elections in Nembe and Southern Ijaw of Bayelsa. We also told you that Christian lawyers have kicked against the social media bill proposed. And finally, we told you that President Buhari said that the Vice President's aides were not sacked but redeployed. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. KUFM News Break was produced by Lebedum Asagwaram. I am Charles Oporum saying thanks for listening and good evening.
92.7 Wake up every day, feeling so down with motivation. Turn on my excitement. 92.7, everybody knows. FM, I'm up with my radio. FM, I'm up with my radio. FM, I'm up with my radio. FM, 92.7 is my radio. Started my day to play you. After you play you with the Radio Tori, Spot Sylvester. Can you drive time? And I'll come one day with the key night. FM, I wake up with my radio. FM, I wake up with my Some of them have got big money. He cannot take care of money. Some money that become big news until the same people pay with money. Something got sent to me, mama, and we got me to me, baby, of course. Send some to that. Jabba kilo to me, each and every day we will pray. Please let me see today. The Babylon they want me to play, but still, you know me play. Some of them friends don't want me to fall. Only Johnny put on me face on the grass. When they do us up on the street, they don't talk. The Babylon they see them flop. Yeah, anything they do can see drama. Life will make me do the chant of designer. Some of them better be a key for designer. Cause the people know that the cost of disaster. Brother man, brother man. Brother man, no big man, brother man. Brother man, no say when you walk about. Instead of them, I have them all the time to start. Some of them have got big money. He cannot take care of money. Some money that become big news until the same people pay with money. Something got sent to me, mama, and we got me to me, baby, of course. Send some to that. Jabba kilo to me, each and every day we will pray. Please let me see today. The Babylon they want me to play, but still, you know me play. If it's a step up, you know. show me love. Make you not kill your mom cause I bless. Say make you never do the way. You do that really when me that's a big play. I say the boy never play. The mama she is carry she the boy that she dey pray. Your blessings come on the way. Me not see what you better man will know some big man. Not see the report tell you that man. Father my test by you number one. Jabo kido to me way. Each and every day we will pray. Choose what we see today. The Babylon they want to be fair, but still we will pray. Jabo kido to me way. Each and every day we will pray. Choose what we see today. The Babylon they want to be fair, but still we will pray. It's Victor Dinana King Pepper Kiki where they find party that's not supposed to fear dance. And as I come with my rod, I let them give me chance. You don't know the way some just start, you know how to dance. Only do you know as you dance la la inside a zone. My biggest motivation, now that's not where I'm going. Oh, my biggest motivation, now those days I let see for fun. My biggest motivation, now those ways I should not go pay. Oh, my biggest motivation, now those where they hate. 2 seconds and they must be. If you want bust, now 2 seconds, till reach till break everywhere, boss my. This year we go give all our problem. Yeah, the guys they use my best, they go to them. Because they one day assume not to spread the money, and me I like another my perfume. If that's my job, and we can follow them. When you have one officer, yeah, you get problem. Don't worry me, nobody. So let them bother me. When this one step everywhere hard, I know we not easy, bro. Even for hellfire, now they will sit down the expect to get, but fear will never collect. If first take it, and there area just scatter. Street, na general market, you feel pick two. Suspension, now hold on. Motivation, now that's not where I'm going. Oh, my biggest motivation, now those days I don't see food from. My biggest motivation, now those days I should not go pay. Oh, my biggest motivation, now those where they hate. 2 seconds, then they must be. I know the girls, they want to turn the boy to ask, but I want to live one agree. If you love the boy, no joy. My guy, no day the street. If trust they then what's up for no fee, they cook fish. I don't mind the opposite, devil workshop. I know fee be apprentice, I get work to shop. I'm not the part of the bottom, but what the man go do? They keep it one side, I be no go shop, go school. If match once here, my brother make it here finish. The worst thing to happen to man has to finish. When I die, right say I try for my grave life now market and everybody here control. I'm on the rubbish when they say my eye don't see. Even this water when I cry, no fit come more time. I no fit complain. John waiting give me vote. Tomorrow get belly, wish no fit abort time. Kiki where they find party that's not supposed to fear dance. And as I come with my rod, I let them give me chance. You don't know the way some just start, you know how to dance. You don't mess up now. Only do you know as you dance la 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 inside a zone. My biggest motivation, now those men where I'm going. Oh, my biggest motivation, now those days I don't see food from. So my biggest motivation, now those ways I should not go pay. Oh, my biggest motivation, now those where they hate. 2 seconds, they must be. I'm on the street really so bad. Well, landlord, it's on to tenant. 2 seconds from big bro. Very soon you go to shop remnants. First in life, now general market. I'll be some so special. Special now, carry praise.
Are you a budding talented musician and would love to have your musical works played on KU 92.7 FM, Benin City's more music variety station? We would love to hear from you. Please call 070-380-50243 for more information. That is 070-380-50243.
What's up, it's your girl, number 7.
Yo, it's your boy,
This is Cappy, people.
what's up? This is Fast.
Rocket on 92.7 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk music in the South. When I say music in the South, I mean South music original. When I say South music, I mean underground talk 10 countdown on KU 92.7. Wherever you are, Bay City to PH City, Las Guinea to MPJ, NY City to London, it is time to witness sounds from the South. Please make welcome International Badman on Radio, Street Boys Association representative, sweetest guy to ever hit your airwaves, man. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Charles the Bad Guy. And in case you're wondering, they call me AJ Fire, aka next to African neighbor, Boom Shakalaka.
Hi guys, a beautiful evening to you. What's going on? It's me, your host with the most, Charles the Bad Guy. And whenever you hear the sound of that beat, you know it's time for The Underground, your favorite radio program. Yep, this program is designed strictly for our up-and-coming artists. It's a countdown show that seeks to promote arts from the underground, arts from our own hometown, Benin City, Edo State, the Niger Delta, and of course the southern part of Nigeria and Nigeria in general. Yep, so if you are an artist and you feel you're good enough, you want to feature on the program, do well to reach out to me via my Twitter handle at Charles KUFM. I trust the weather is friendly. You're a part of the country, ain't that right? If it's not, well, probably your sins are too much and the rains are trying to wash them away. You know. Last week was myself and Orlando doing this together. And tonight, of course, is just me flying solo. Orlando is she's going to London to see the Queen. Charles Bad Guy is my name, and this is The Underground. Okay, we had a wonderful time last week, myself and Orlando talking music here. And tonight, it's going to be no different. We got wonderful songs for you in the chat this evening. Some songs have climbed up, some have come down. We got some new entries on the chat. Without further ado, let's get started. At number 10 position on the chat this evening is my man Tian with the song Sweet Fang. Okay, so Tian's real name is Mercy Henry Obekilu, and he's from the Goben local government in Edo State. Right? He's a student of the University of Benin, and he tells me he started his music career in 2015 while still a student. Yep, he refers to himself as an Afro-pop singer. Yeah, and this song is called Sweet Fang. It's from Tian, and it's coming in at number 10.
Number 10.
Talking to the man in the boot, beating up yourself sometime with that, thinking that you'd never be enough. In the hot young boots, they're rebelling, you kinda feel depressed when you're surfing, faking slow for social media. Don't try to compromise, everyone wants you can make it smile. Come with the first version of the song, I'll be the fuck when the song will end. Oh mama, nobody know I show you how to do papa. I don't do anything that you never go papa. When you know to change your mind, 'cause you're sweet and you're sweet. You don't need to fake it, cause you're sweet and you're sweet. You just gotta be something sweet. Cause you're free, you think you take your time, but when it's on you, you act what you have done, you better own it. In the future, you then just gotta notice. You started by your potion to the bills of the too short, too fat, and you feel so weak. I need to change, get ready to worry. I'm not afraid, hot when it's not working. What makes you think that you can never pass it up? Someone say you not even an actress. Shadow on a million followers. How I was not all this acting. And you know this cause from me. Oh, Papa. Nobody show you what to do, Papa. I don't know what to do, you gotta go, Papa. You gotta change your mind. Show you feel for you don't need to feel for you just gotta be
that shows you bad, that baby she call you dad. You spend money on the ground, they can mellow down, but hey, here's my heart and you put people my arms with you. So when you're scared, you never forget the hound with you. I'm here and never gonna walk away. They put bombs on the streets and I'ma still lose my way. You shoot, stop searching, trying to find what is perfect. Then don't search and never find my replacement. So please, breaking the line is easy. I understand feeling enough too easy. But take your time, put yourself at ease. Cause you remember 100 on the scale of 62. Take it easy and believe me when I say I still be the number way on trips to is only way you get me. If when we broke together, I'll be around with you. And when we old, you believe we're gonna die with you.
It's a wonderful song there from my man Tian at number 10, and it brings us to the next song, the song at number 9 on the chart this evening. Okay, so Tian went in with his sweet, slow, soothing melody. Okay, now the next song is anything but. Absolutely, it's from the guy Mike Hughes, and Mike Hughes, of course, is an energetic individual, someone who likes to sing and dance. You might want to go check him out on Instagram at @IAM_Mike Hughes. His dance videos have gone viral. So he calls this one It's a Prophecy. Yep, it's a prophecy. It's coming in at number 9 this evening. Let's go check out It's a Prophecy. And remember, Mike Hughes is an award-winning artist. I'll tell you what he won the award.
Number 9.
Prophecy song. Light and night.
It's crazy, the beat's country.
Heels. You walk, you say? Okay. Happy New Month, my chief. See. Happy New Month, all best. To the guys and the gentle girls. To the ones where they call on the Lord last month. This month, go send you text. Not this month, show us more. To where girls don't see more. Make the money they come every day. Not be once in the month like girls period. This month, to be sure they no go see your passport. So better watch you go get your passport. A lot of people die last month, but we can't go say last month. No be our last month. Blessings go come your way. One minute be far away. For marriage, Lord. This month, don't give them one side today. So you say, this month is my month. It's a prophecy. So you say, money go call me born. I got currency. So you say, this month is my month. It's a prophecy. So you say, money go call me born. I got currency. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Steady yourself. Steady yourself. Say you won't buy a house. You won't get a job. Money not the rich man, but this month thank God I don't get it no. I won't thank it no. This month is my month. Last month be the month of the test, but this month I don't see results. This month, which one you go see your passport? For the top to complete your passport. A lot of people die last month, but we can't go say last month, not be our last month. Blessings go come your way. Community far away. When they pray for marriage, Lord, this month just give them one side today. So you say, this month is my month. It's a prophecy. So you say, money go call me born. I got currency. Money go, this month is my month. It's a prophecy. So you say, money go call me born. I got currency. Okay. Steady your fear. Steady your fear. to God. Just commit to God. Steady listen. Steady listen. Receive your own. Okay. On the mix.
It's a prophecy. Okay, so absolutely, that was Mike Hughes with the song It's a Prophecy. And I did tell you before we went to listen to the song that he was an award-winning artist. Yep, indeed, he won at the Edisa Awards earlier this year. And that was the Edu Delta Icon Stars Awards. Mike Hughes is happy, really happy with that. Currently, he's a student of Gregory University, Abia State, and the award he won was the Next Rated Artist of the Year. Okay, his dance group is called TFS. Okay, alright, so that was Mike Hughes. And up next is this typical homeboy, Tenny Eddie. Okay, Tennyson Edison, or Tenny Eddie for short. And he got this one called No Lily coming in at number 8. Now, Tenny has been on the chart before. He dropped out of the chart. But eventually the song is making a return. It's coming in at number 8. Okay, and tonight's countdown chart. Alright, you know what? I don't want to talk much about Tenny Eddie. Let's just go listen to Tenny Eddie with the song No Lily and find out, is there any Lily in your life? Number 8.
Welcome to New York. Sometimes it could be like say nothing will happen. Say Papa God how you leave you for jungle. I know that they jolly every day you the struggle. Oh, I know food to chop, but how you chop it enough. Ask God the day, keep on believing. Ask God the day, keep on believing. But sharp, whatever I put in your work, you can never give up the fight. After the wait of fall, let the sun go shine. The future is bright. I just must not push it. Baby, it's okay. Okay, I said, the bless it to you, bless me to hold it like I hold it to yellow. You know what to do. One day they go, I started there. Keep on believing. I started there. Keep on believing. Because I swear no you can tell you say you not go make up for this life. You gotta say no. Sometimes it don't feel like say nothing will happen. I say Papa God Almighty give you for your love. Your neighbor they tell me every day you the struggle. I don't feel to chop on all you chop. Ask God the day, keep on believing. Ask God the day, keep on believing.
Absolutely great song there from Tenny Eddy, and that was the song at number 8. Remember the Guess the Song segment from last week? Who remembers? I'm definitely going to be giving out prizes for the best guesser, whoever got the answer correctly. Yep, I'm going to tell you the title of that song, and I'm going to read out the name of the winner if there's a winner. And if there's no winner, well, I got to keep my prize. First of all, I want to say a big shout out to I'm Too Legit to Quit on Twitter. I think he won my prize one time like that. And of course, he's the only one who has won. The other guesses have actually been incorrect. But no problem. We continue to try. They say attempt all questions.
Delivering more hip-hop band R&B this year
on KUFM 92.7.
I am delivered. Y'all ain't ready.
Turn on excitement.
Alright, moving on. Song number 7. This one from Ice Green, another typical Beanie boy, and he calls it Romantical. Yep, it's been on the chart before, it dropped off, but it's back on the chart, and it's enjoying a resurgence. And the song is called Romantical by Ice Green, coming in at number 7.
Number 7.
Yo, she pull me, I on that. Superman thing, baby girl, say me, I wanna roll right back. Roll right back. She see me, my Cadillac, she roll right back. Oh, baby, come to the be my baby, give it to your girl from back. Let me give it to your girl from back. She wants to rock mine. She like the way that she want me the time. Yeah, no. Girl, you know you got her. Yeah. You dancing that thing, baby, dancing a lingo. Girl, she roll me, I heard that. Baby girl, put it down, baby girl, roll right back. Roll right back. Yo, you romantic. Girl, can't kill a man. Girl, can't kill a man. Yo, you romantic. Girl, can't kill a man. Girl, she know me, I on that. Superman thing, baby girl, say me, I wanna roll right back. Roll right back. She see me in my Cadillac, she roll right back. Oh baby, come to the be my baby, give it to your girl from back. Let me give it to your girl from back. Chop that waist one time. That girl, bring up that 10 one time. Give it to me every day and ain't one time. Baby girl, please don't waste my time. Now boy, I'ma chop that waist one time. Baby girl, put it down one time. Give it to me every day and ain't one time. Baby girl, please don't waste my time. Me the number one thinger. I start partner, me singer. Me the killer, man jingle. Me I got things everywhere, me the singer. You know, number one singer. The cold white show with killer. They do me a killing everything. You see got me back every day. We are killer. They might know me. Right here they know me. Superstar shining. Me better than the rest. They might know me. Nah, yeah, they might know me. See them might know me. Tell them the rest of them they know me. Bada man, everywhere they know me. Got you more romantic. Yo, you original killer for the right boy, yeah. The music killer, the music dealer for realer. It's your boys Too Icy, and you're listening to the Underground Top 10 Countdown with just the bad guy. 92.7 KUFM, Benin City. It's a faraway something.
Great song there from Ice Green, Romantical, number 7. And up next is song number 6. At number 6, we got this guy who loves to do a reggae flavor. yeah, his songs are almost always flavored with reggae. I don't know, man, there's something with reggae these days. Artists, they love to touch around, play around with the reggae. And my man is a wonderful reggae artist. I'm talking about none other than Design. Yeah, Design has got this new song called Carolina, and it's coming in at number 6. Design, by the way, is going to be performing live at the KU White Ball. The KU White Ball is coming up on the 15th of December 2019. Do well to pick up your ticket. Hallmark Supermarket, Kada Cinema, KUFM Marketing Office at Iwama Road. Any KUFM vehicle you see, in fact, send me a message, say, Charles, I want to take it, I'll get you a ticket. Okay, Design is going to be performing there. The host of other artists are going to let out. I'm going to let you know as the show progresses. But meanwhile, let's go enjoy Carolina from Design, coming in at number 6.
Number 6.
Colombian and African breed. African specialist. Design up again. The music. Carolina, give me bottom, but I want to give you good life and give you good love non-stop. Please give me one time again. Carolina, give me bottom, but I want to give you good life and give you good love non-stop. Please give me one time again. Girl, you are sweeter than sweet. You feel like a sweet melody. Girl, you my vitamin C. I want to dive deep in your ocean. Give me one time again. One for me one time again. Let me music get you one time again. Dancing for me, baby, please non-stop. Carolina, give me bottom, but I want to give you good life and give you good love non-stop. Please give me one time again. Carolina, give me bottom, but I want to give you good life and give you good love non-stop. Please give me one time again. Pick up, rough and me. Pick up, design up again. Pick up, I'm a Colombian. Pick up, I'm a Nigerian. You know you got to pick up on me. You know when you wind out the case them high. Give it, baby, give it non-stop. Wine it for me, baby, wine it all night. Ooh, I said give me non-stop. Wine it for me, baby, wine it all night. Ooh, give me non-stop, non-sleep. Wine it, I keep on you all night. Carolina, give me bottom, but I want to give you good life and give you good love non-stop. Please give me one time again. Carolina, give me bottom, but I want to give you good life and give you good love non-stop. Please give me one time again. Pick up, rough and me. Pick up, design up again. Pick up, I'm a Colombian people. Pick up, I'm a Nigerian people. I'm here, your body caliente. Hotter than the sun and hotter than fire. Give me good love non-stop. Let me vibe, I wanna go down with you. Girl, you know that I really love me, baby girl. Don't stop, let the music play all night long. Let me say all night long. Pass it up, step again. So give me non-stop. When it for me, baby, when it done that. Give me non-stop, don't sleep. When me cock it on you on the Carolina. Give me bottom, but I want to give you good life and give you good love non-stop. Please give me one time again. Carolina, give me bottom, but I want to give you good life and give you good love non-stop. Please give me one time again. Pick up, rough and me. Pick up, design up again. Pick up, I'm a Colombian. Pick up, I'm a Nigerian. African specialist.
Wonderful song there by Design. Carolina, give me bottom pot. Okay, so if they don't give you the bottom pot, what's going to happen? Up next is song number 5. But before then, I got to tell you this. You have to listen to the Guess the Song segment for this week and tell me who the artist is. All you have to do is listen in to the 10-second clip, then tweet at me with the name of the song and the name of the artist. Tweet at me with the title of the song and the name of the artist. Let's go there. forget tweeting. My Twitter handle is at Charles KUFM, by the way. And let's move on.
Yes, y'all. What's cracking, beautiful ladies and gentlemen? They call me Reflex. And you're listening to the Underground Top 10 Countdown with Charles the Bad Guy on KU 92.7 FM, Benin City. Now so, leave story and don't touch that dial. Yes, sir.
So up next is song number 5, and at number 5 I got this one from my man Leroy Africa, and he calls it Many Things. Okay, Many Things is making a climb up from last week where it was at number 6. Okay, and now it's at number 5 this week. Okay, so let's go listen to Leroy Africa with the song Many Things, coming in at number 5 on the countdown chart this evening.
Number 5.
What do you want to make I do for you? What do you want to make I do for you? What do you want to make I do for you? What do you want to make I become more? What do you want to make I do for you? What do you want to make I do for you? What do you want to make I do for you? Many things I can do for you. So many things I can do for you. I can take you to spaces up here and up here. If you want, I go there for you. Many things I can do for you. So many things I can do for you. I go carry you back and forget it like this. I'm a get that is for you. All I need is just one chance. Make I show you what you want. All I need is just one chance. Make I show you what you want. Tell you how for you. Tell you how for you. So what do you want me to do for you? I just want to make you for you. You are my so many things let me think I go fake. I go stand by my word. I go set the record. Nobody go break. Nobody like you. Nobody like you. Many things I can do for you. So many things I can do for you. I can take you to spaces up here and up here. If you want, I go there for you. Many things I can do for you. So many things I can do for you. I go carry you back and forget it like this. I'm a get that is stuff for you. All I need is just one chance. Make I show you what the man. All I need is just one chance. Make I show you what the man. What do make I do for you? What do you want to make I do for you? What do you want to make I do for you? What do you want to make I do? So what do you want to make I do for you? What do you want to make I do for you? What do you want to make I do for you? What do you want to make I do?
One chance. Make I show you I'm your man. I know a lot of guys will just be hoping that the girl will give them one chance. Alright, good looking out to my man Leroy Africa for Many Things. Wonderful jam there, wonderful jam. Keep watching out for this guy. He is the next big thing coming up. I tell you, man, I tell you. And up next is song number 4. At number 4, I got my man Reflex with the song You Don't Know What Is Going On. You don't know what is going on. I've talked about Reflex a lot. I think Reflex is already a household name here. If you listen to KUFM regularly, you know Reflex already. And he is also going to be performing at the KU White Ball. Yep, alongside Eriga, alongside Design, alongside a couple of other artists. December 15th is the date. Save it. Make sure you turn up on that day. Look, if you don't turn up, let me always say what I'm going to do to you. Alright, let's go listen to Reflex with the song You Don't Know What's Going On, coming in at number 4 on the chart this evening.
Number 4.
One shoe, one mic, one host. Now the Underground Top 10 Countdown with the baddest charts. I'm too bad. I'm gonna for KUFM, man. on 92.7 every Saturday 8 p.m. I'm not missing. Engineer too bad. Playlist were blessed. Hip hop to make brain. Ciao. Of course now October of KU. Ciao. Badass.
One time here come again. Drop the thing so. Last the thing go. Listen, now we give them vibe any type with it. Make the jump and dance. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what is going on. Say we the best they are focused. Make all of them go look. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what is going on. So we both study most of it. But then it's still the joke. The only time with the joke, man, I don't see nothing. But since most work out, we want to cash out. We get the X factor, not the H factor. Can I hear it? Now we give them vibe any type with it. Make the jump and dance. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what is going on. Say we the best they are focused. Because of them go look. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what is going on. I'm on the way where they make them crazy. As we don't decide to come, we turn up the place. Eventually, fine boys in our way, the girls they rush. I'm probably stepping at the place, them all love, oh my gosh. You know, say come from that, they talk too much. And if they want more fire, turn it up a notch. And them know say we are bad, everybody flee out on you. What's in the yard? They try to put me down, but we see them from far. But me not ever fear, but the blessing from God. Man, I only do what I can handle. Say man, I'm life like a handle. You are looking at me life from me front door. So many things where you don't know. You don't know. Now we don't give them vibe any type with it. Make the jump and dance. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what is going on. Say we the best they are focused. Because of them go look. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what is going on. Your waist is guilty. Hold it up, baby girl, you are beauty. Look, you put a man on duty. Let me buy you Ferragamo and the Gucci. What you say? Your waist is guilty. Hold it up, baby girl, you are beauty. Look, you put a man on duty. Let me get you to Versace and the Fendi. What you say? Oh, now we give them vibe any type with it. Make the jump and dance. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what is going on. Say we the best they are focused. Because of them go look. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what is going on. Reflex. Some of them are people. You can get out of them now. They can take your money eventually. Yeah, for vanishing. You don't know. You don't know why it's going on. You know they are related. You don't know about it. It should look like the person is the interference of you. All of them are one of the convenient. The convenient. When I want to explain it, my head will be headache away. Makes sense. Nobody is not there again. Eventually.
You don't know. You don't know what's going on. Yeah, but I don't know what's going on. It is the underground here with me, Charles, the bad guy, the host with the most. Absolutely great song there from the man Reflex. Now let's go check out the song from last week. Did anybody get it correctly? The title of the song from last week was Top Skanker from Stonebwoy, all the way from Ghana. Nope, I did not get a correct answer, and as a result I get to keep my prize. Aww. Let's go enjoy Top Skanker from Stonebwoy, and when we return, it's going to be the top 3 songs on the chart. Stay here. It's still me, Charles the Bad Guy, on 92.7 KUFM. It's the underground, baby.
Don't you touch that dial. Sugar, don't touch that dial.
KUFM 92.7.
Skibidi bang 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 bang. That one I know. I'm saying yeah. Don't get again.
Anytime we pass through, the whole of them know I go on. I bring the joy and smile to the face of the whole of them. We shut down the place and the whole of them know that I'm a can't pull, can't quench, can't done. Man of the top skanker, Accra to Sri Lanka, the Valley, Jamaica, Flanka, them see me as a kaka, big like a ship, same time near the anchor. What them a go do? Them don't catch the cancer near the answer. When me pass through it's a bonanza, billion load in a tanker. Anytime we pass through, the whole of them do a go on. I bring the joy and smile to the face of the whole of them. We shut down the place and the whole of them know that I'm a can't pull, can't quench, can't done. Get to you to the gym again. Can't king up the sweet again. More fire we are put again. Same flame. Get to you to the gym again. Big music up the sweet again. More fire we are put again. Same flame. Like the ground Godzilla, I am the killer. Killing every negative and bad man filler. Soul healer, musical dealer. Selling faster than crack and smoke and tequila. And we are run dancehall. From out of Simon to the world, our name them a call. Original top skanker. Big up the fans them in a Gambia and Dakar. Every ghetto you know you a star. No matter where you come from, the whole of we are one Africa. Skanker. Anytime we pass through, the whole of them know I go on. I bring the joy and smile to the face of the whole of them. We shut down the place and the whole of them know that I'm a can't quench, can't done. Get to you the again. Can't king up the sweet again. More fire we are put again. Same flame. Get to you the again. Music up the sweet again. More fire we are put again. Same flame. Anytime we pass through, the whole of them know I go on. I bring the joy and smile to the face of the whole of them. We shut down the place and the whole of them know that I'm a can't pull, can't quench, can't done. Get to you the gym again. Can't king up the sweet again. More fire we are put again. Same flame. Get to you the gym again. Music up the sweet again. More fire we are put again. Same flame.
Delivering more hip-hop and R&B this year
on KUFM 92.7.
I am delivering. Y'all ain't ready.
Turn on excitement.
Welcome back. It's still the Underground with me, your host with the most. And up next, it's song number 3. But before then, here's that Guess That Song segment yet again. Keep tweeting, man. It's the title of the song and the name of the artist. Tweet at Charles KUFM and stand a chance of winning 1,000 naira worth of recharge card. Moving on, we got at number 3 Deji with the song I'll show you. Deji was supposed, of course, to drop a new song, but he told me, boss, we just shifted the production to later in the year. Maybe it's December, but he hasn't confirmed the particular date. Meanwhile, I'll show you is still waxing very strong and is still in high demand. So we'll go listen to I'll Show You coming in at number 3.
Number 3.
1, 2, 3, slide. Sitting out here, wonder why the sky is so clear, running out of things to say.
Why is the sky so clear?
It's the way I am when the party's over. Don't wanna be wasted, don't wanna be lost in your dreams. I was hoping, never waiting for the right time to tell you how I feel. But I didn't trust no one. They They say you would help before. Too scared to believe in love. God, let me show you, let me show you. Oh, I heard it in the past, no one. They say you've been hurt before. I bet you never know love so strong, but only for tonight. I'll show you. Up and now I can see your eyes are looking at me. They're calling me, yeah, I'm coming. See that sparkle in your eyes gets me every single time. It's like a feeling that I can't deny. No, but I heard you didn't trust no one. Stay still, you've been hurt before. It's too scared to believe in love. Cause let me show you, let me show you. Oh, I heard you didn't trust no one. Stay safe and hurt before. I bet you never knew love so strong, but only for tonight. I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you. I've been sitting out here waiting, running around with all these maybes. I know it took a while to see this, what I feel for you don't live up to me. So say, but I didn't trust no one. Stay safe and hurt before. Too scared to believe in love, but let me show you, let me show you. Oh, I heard you trust no one. Stay safe and hurt before. I bet you never knew love so strong, but only for tonight did I do it. I see you dance one time.
Great song there from DG at number 3, and up next is song number 2, making a move up. Remember, DG, I'll show you, was at number 2 last week, but it's dropped one place to number 3, and coming up from number 3 last week is Sleek with the song Sarafina at number 2 on the charts this evening.
Number 2. I met this girl, na Sarafina. Her body language me interpret. Me no fit tell, me no fit keep up. It do it from my eyes. Her body be like a coconut. Shawty classy, she look carila. You go follow me, you're on the arena. It do it from your eyes. Let me go, my villa, baby, Sarafina. Let me go, my villa, baby, Sarafina. Sarafina, baby, see another play. We want to get you another day. Sarafina, 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 Sarafina. I see for your eyes, love in Tokyo, all the way to Ibiza, to Toronto, yeah. Hold my hands and anytime, baby, let's go, yeah. And anything where you want, plenty of body. I need to pay for your my toes. I'm not betraying you for another. Anything nigga in Tokyo. Say you gon' be my lover. Let me go, my villa, baby,
another way. We won't be with you another day. Let me go, my villa, baby, Sarafina. Let me go, my villa, baby, Sarafina, baby. Sarafina, baby, see another day. We won't be with you another day. Come over, Sarafina, come over, it's Sarafina, come over, Sarafina, come over, it's Sarafina, sweet baby, ultimo zen experiment. I met this girl, not Sarafina. Her body language we interpret her. Me no fit tell her, me no fit keep her. It dey for my eyes.
Yep, that's what's up, Sarafina. Sleek, by the way, is an Edo brother. He comes from Uromi. Yep, absolutely an Uromi boy. Someone the other day I was listening to some guys who were listening to the program and they didn't even know I was there. And the guys said, how does he sound voice? They don't show themselves, so but it doesn't matter, man. Music is a universal language. Alright guys, up next is the song at number 1. And what song is at number 1? Well, you gotta hold on guys. Let's do a quick recap of the songs on the chart so far.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk music in the South. When I say music in the South, I mean South music original. When I say South music, I mean underground top 10 countdown on KU 92.7. Wherever you are, Bay City to PH City, Las Guinea to FBJ, NY City to London. It is time to witness sounds from the South. Please make welcome International Bagman on Radio, Street Boys Association representative, Sweetest guy to ever hit your airwaves, man. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Charles the Bad Guy. And in case you're wondering, they call me AJ Fire, aka next to African neighbor, Boom Shakalaka.
At number 10 was Tian with the song Sweet Thang. It was followed in 9th spot by Mike Hughes with It's a Prophecy.
Happy New Month, all best. To the guys of the gentle girls. To the ones where they call on the Lord last month. This month to go send you text. Not this month, show us more.
Tenny Eddie was at number 8 with No Lily.
Keep on
Ice Green came in at number 7 with Romantical.
Yo, you romantic. Girl can kill a man. Girl can kill a man. Yo, you romantic.
Carolina by Design was at number 6.
Carolina, give me bottom, but I want to give you good life and give you good love non-stop. Please give me my
Leroy Africa dropped Many Things at number 5. And Reflex came in at number 4 with You Don't Know What Is Going On. I'll Show You from Deji was at number 3.
But I already in a fresh no one. They say you would help before. Too scared to believe in love. God, let me show you. Let me show you.
And at number 2 was Sleek with Sarafina.
I met this girl, not Sarafina. Her body language, me interpret them. In the feet, tell me no fit keep them. It do it from my eyes.
And the song at number 1 is, before then, here's the Guess That Song segment yet again. At number 1 is Dreams of a Child by LTT. Continues to maintain its spot on the charts. Look, I don't have anything to say, man. Let's go listen to Dreams of a Child from LTT at number 1.
Number 1. Number 1.
I remember days when I was young. My mama called me to her warm arms and said to me, son, when you grow up, I'd like you to be a doctor, not knowing I'd live for Doreen. Can Papa stop you down and ask what plans have you for your future? I started told him my plans are asleep. Come be vexing, no beef from my house, it glistening. You need to walk with the feed you, boy. Oh, they have got it all wrong. I choose the path that I follow. My only wish is that they dreams of a child. Never try to make them what they're not. Love, we choose your path, so support them as you can, and please believe. Now I come to wonder, I come to wonder, especially for parents in Africa, especially for parents. If you know we don't tolerate, you know we get better future. Though that mentality is got to change, that mentality. No, be everybody to be everybody here, but I want no mistake, but I want no mistake. Them a lot of talent for fashion, and they plan a business to no one. Why call and not be for everyone? Give me a mistake, be my thing. Give me must not be your calling. Everybody destiny is different. So never try to make them what they're not. And we can't stand and go through. Never back up, be their God. And please believe in a child. Oh, please believe in the child. Maybe everybody people like this song. But I feel like I know the things they do. Cause every child is full of potentials. All they need is support to love, someone to cheer them till they win. Don't force the dream on the child. You can just come down his gas. Just let the people meant to be. Make them what they're not, and leave the stumble and they fall. The back up with some love, but please believe in the child. Oh, please believe in the child.
And that's what's up on the chart this evening. Do well to follow me on Twitter at Charles KUFM and follow KUFM at KUFM Nigeria. And of course, if you feel you're good enough, do well to send me a DM. You might just be on the chart. Peace out.
You and I, Bonnie and Clyde, my number one baby, my rhythm and blues. I can't deny, Maka, that's right. Understand, baby, no one but you. My purpose is a perfect picture right now. But it feels better than when I baby. Move, baby, move. But it feels better than when I
day with you. Pick a day. Tell me what is the time and place. No holiday for your case. Girl, I wonder on top your boy. Strong like a shaman. You get to see they do me like a dabana. See, my head they hot, I they para now. Now you are one knock when I hammer now. You and I, Bonnie and Clyde, my number one baby, my rhythm and blue. I can't deny, Maka, that's right. Understand, baby, no one but you. Na. My purpose is a perfect picture, my na. But it feels better than when I get it. Na. Move, baby, move. Na. But it feels better than when I did with. Nothing feels better than when I did with someone special. One way go stay with me. When I'm down, when I'm feeling lonely, yeah. But if you gon' leave, let me know, baby. If you gon' stay, baby, just stay. Cause I know we control myself again. Yeah. So baby, just hold me strong like a shaman. I see they do me like a dabana. See, my head they hot, I they para now. Now you are one knock when I hammer now. You and I, Bonnie and Clyde, my number one baby, my rhythm and blue. I can't deny, Maka, that's right. Understand, baby, no one but you. Na. My purpose is a perfect picture, my na. But it feels better than when I get it. Na. Move, baby, move. Na. Nothing feels better than when I did with you. Nothing better than when I did with you.
We start your day from the break of dawn till midnight.
Like that wasn't clingy enough.
We went online and now you can listen to us via our website anywhere in the world.
Okay, Stalker Alert.
We told you to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, like our page on Facebook, and even add us upon WhatsApp.
Okay, this is definitely creepy.
Really? Well, guess what? We are now in your devices. KU 92.7 Radio is now officially an app for your smartphones, gadgets, and many devices. Simply go to Google Play Store and search for KU 92.7 Radio and download the app in less than 3 minutes. This app only works on Android devices for now. iOS and Windows devices coming soon. KU FM. Turn on excitement. These are the biggest hits on the radio over the last 7 days.
The biggest songs from the last 7 days.
This is Airplay 40.
Airplay 40. With Spencer James.
This is Airplay 40. Hello, I'm Spence. Welcome on to the top 40 songs played on FM and online stations around the world over the last week. Thank you for joining us on this week's Airplay 40 chart. Before we kick off this week's Airplay 40 chart and reveal the most played songs that you've been listening to over the last week, let's look at last week's number 1 on last week's Airplay 40.
This is Airplay 40. Number 1.
Last week, Lizzo made it number 1 at the top of the chart with Good As Hell. Chart with a brand new number 1 on the chart. 5 new entries this week. They include Tiesto and Mabel. God is a Dancer. That'd be number 1 on Airplay 40.
this week's new entries.
Body, let's rock it, let's put it all on ya. I know you're coming for that. Ain't nothing cool, it's natural for ya. My, you got the answer. You won't stop for nada, yeah. Something, yeah, keep that pace. Why you take it step by step. When you come out on the floor, you got that left, right, left. Keep on coming back for more. You got that step by step. When you come out on the floor, you got that in, you got that in, just take it step by step. When you come out on the floor, you got that left, right, left. Keep on coming back for more. You got that step by step. When you come out on the floor, you got that in, you got that in, you got that. Won't you give me that step by step? Won't you give me that step by step? Won't you give me that left?
Isabella Merced makes her debut into our Play 40 chart. With this, it's called Pappy. Could that be number 1 on our Play 40? Eight Rising, Georgie Jackson, Wang and Swaley and Major Lazer walking into the chart. Could that be number 1 on the countdown?
What it's gonna take, what it's gonna take to make you shake your worries away. I'm finally seeing you face to face. It's your beauty, girl, not your frame.
Internet Money featuring Little Tekka and a Boogie with the Hoodie, and somebody entered the chart today. That number 1 on Airplay 40.
You wanna talk, you wanna call me. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta storm me. You know I'm on my phone, I pick it up when you know I hit you back if you was my everything. You know you be my queen if you let me be a king. You know you want the gym, so I got you with everything, yeah. Why you jumping static, checking static till you roll off? I got all these bitches loving me like I ain't so stuck. Talking with your chest so bitty, but you better hold off. Told her hit my jacket when she hit me, kill her, hold off. I just want somebody to treat me like somebody. And I like anybody. All you gotta do is love me for me. I just want somebody to treat me like somebody. And I like anybody. All you gotta
And Barbara Haxa enters into the chart with You Can't Stop the Girl. Could that be number 1 on the Play 40 charts?
Airplay 40 starts now.
So here we go now with this week's Airplay 40 chart. This is the top 40 songs played in over 250 FM and online stations all around the world over the last 7 days. It's good to have with us here on this week's Airplay 40 chart. On the next 10 songs, 1 climber, 8 fallers, 1 new entry. 40 this week on Airplay 40. It's been in the charts 9 weeks and it's down 3 places. Liam Gallagher, One of Us. This week's number 40 on Airplay 40.
Hey kid, did you know today 16 years ago we were just you and I for the last time. You and Kelly said, with a smoke ring round your head, you would see me on the other side. Come on, I know you want more. Come on and open your door. After it all you find out you were always one of us. Act like you don't remember. You said you lived forever. Really you think you kidding? You are only one of us inside. When you come to mind, disappear 1,000 times. Keep it hanging on to me all right. Well, I gotta go. Maybe see you down the road. Won't you tell the kid I said goodbye? Come on, I know you want more. Come on and open your door. After it all you find out you were always one of us. Act like you don't remember. You said you live forever. And at the very beginning you were only one of us inside.
Airplay 40
with Spencer James.
39.
There's just some things that never change. You say we're just friends, but friends don't know the way it tastes. La la la.
1 at this week's number 39 on Airplay 40. 12 weeks in the charts. Longest running single. Down 5, Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello and Senorita. Talking of number 1, could Billie Eilish climb to number 1 today with All Good Girls Go to Hell?
Look at you, immediately. You know when not your friend without some green. You can't therapy, you should know better. Your cover up is caving in. Man is such a flow, why are you saving me? Poisoning themselves now, begging for a hug.
It's the 6th week the song's been in the chart, and it's been in the top 5 for most of them. Could it climb and be this week's number 1? We'll find out, of course, on Airplay 40. Last week's Harsh to Enter was Louis Tomlinson. We made it. Will that climb and be today's number 1 on Airplay 40?
Oh God, what I could have become. Don't know why to put all of this on us when we're so young. Doing a pretty good job dealing with it all. When you're here, don't need to say no more. Nothing in the world that I would change it for. Singing something poppy on the same floor chord. Used to worry about it, but I don't know more. Yeah, 'cause we made it.
We'll find out, of course, right here on this week's Airplay 40 chart. 38 this week, it's down 3. Natasha Bedingfield, Kick It on Airplay 40.
Remember how you made me crazy? Remember how I didn't care? Left it all on the kitchen table for my heart to bear. Used to run along the shoreline on the sands of Malibu. Open hands in the shallow waters, promises not lose. Oh, the stars are counting, laying on the point of your car. Oh, no. And I'm praying for an endless summer to heal the wounds and mend the scar. Oh, like a dozen bonfires lined up and down the road. Can't keep over you, baby. Don't need to let you go. Something always turns ugly. Someone always gets mean. And the darkness of find a way to heavy on me. There's no hiding underneath the linen. I can see the sky blowing out, blowing out, blowing out. I really wanna say no, yeah. But the truth is I'll be telling a lie, telling a lie, telling a lie. Right, you never show you no mercy. You just say the things you wanna hear, yeah, you wanna hear. I won't let you go. And I'm baby, I won't let you just disappear. Like a light exposure, showing every single flaw. I thought you and I were special, didn't think it'd be this hard. You get it, you wanna make it, you get it, you wanna make it.
voting.
The biggest songs from the last week.
37.
Never said SOS. Don't even know who I was saving my flair for. It's fully winter, turning the gas back up. Thumb on the floor. Middle of the moon to the day that the star met right. I would have found you if I didn't know now. From Oklahoma, right up the Canada. I never knew what I was like. There was a never said SOS. I would have found you if I'd have known how.
And Clean Bandit and Lost on Airplay 40, this week's number 37. 40 in the charts and down 6. Hello, this is Spence and the top 40 songs played over 250 FM and online stations all around the world. It's great to have you with us here on this week's Airplay 40 chart. It's, of course, another week. If you want to find out more details about the chart, log on to airplay40.com. Talking of which, something big is going to happen in the next few weeks. More of that later on. 5 Seconds of Summer and Teeth is this week's 36, down 7.
Some days you're the only thing I know, only thing that's burning when the nights grow cold. Can't look away, can't look away. Beg you to stay, yeah. Sometimes you're a stranger in my bed. Don't know if you love me or you want me dead. Push me away, beg me to stay, yeah. Call me in the morning to a bad days. Every light gives me butterflies. Something in the wind gets in my eyes. Don't know if it's gonna make me out alive. Fight so dirty, but your love so sweet. Talk so pretty, 'cause you're the best thing in my life. Sometimes when I look at you, I see my life. You turn into somebody I don't know. And you push me away, oh. Call me in the morning to apologize. Every little lie gives me butterflies. Something in the way you look into my eyes. Don't ever forget me, not a lie. Fight so dirty, but your love so sweet. Talk so pretty, but your heart not free. Ain't got devil, put your hands on me. Love it, love it, love it, let go. Fight so dirty, but your love so sweet. Talk so pretty, but your heart not free. Ain't got devil, put your hands on me. Love it, love it, love it, let go. Blood on my shirt, a rose in my hand. You looking at me like you don't know who I am. Blood on my shirt, heart in my hand, still beating. Fight so dirty, but your love so sweet. Talk so pretty, but your heart got late night devil, put your hands on me. And love it, love it, love it, let go. Fight so dirty, but your love so sweet. Talk so pretty, but your heart got late night devil, put your hands on me. And love it, love it, love it, let go.
Charts online.
Airplay40.com.
35.
Just
25 on Airplay 40. 4 weeks of the charts, falling 8 places. Youngblood, Hope for the Underrated Youth on Airplay 40. And The Suspense, playing you the top 40 songs played on this radio station and over 250 FM online stations over the last 7 days. It's great to have you with us here on Airplay 40. Find us, of course, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Search for Airplay 40. We're on there. You can have your say on what you think should be number one and what you think of the new entries, including our first one this week at 34. Internet Money, Little Tech Out, Big with a Hoodie. Somebody.
New entry.
Why you jacking static till we roll up? I got all these loving me in the game so soft. Stop talking with your chest, little bitty bitch, you better hold up. Tell her hit my jacket when she hit me, kill her, hold up. I just want somebody to treat me like somebody, and I like anybody. All you gotta do is love me for me, I just want somebody to treat me like somebody, and I like anybody. All you gotta do is love me for me, girl. I just want somebody to treat me like somebody. You wanna talk, you wanna call me. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta stall me. You know I'm on my phone, I pick it up whenever. You know I hit you back if you was my everything. You know you be my queen if you let me be a king. You in the gym, so I got you with everything, yeah. Why you jacking static till we roll up? I got all these bitches loving me like they ain't so soft. Stop talking with your chest, little bitty bitch, you better hold up. Tell her hit my jacket when she hit me, kill her, hold up. I just want somebody to treat me like somebody, and I like anybody. All you gotta do is love me for me, I just want somebody to treat me like somebody, and I like anybody. All you gotta do is love me for me, girl.
I'm sick of acting like everything's okay when it's not good. Nowadays everybody wanna be top one. I don't feel nobody, I be talking to my shotgun. In the two-seater, my shawty trying to shotgun. But I have my body, yeah. It's my rocky, yeah. My cocky got a butt and it's started. I don't think it boogie really fucking with artists. Came with jungle on the road, yeah. Behind me, somebody else. Well, hey, big daddy, you like the party, yeah. Don't you call me my nickname, don't call me Hardy, yeah.
Why you jacking static till you roll up? I got all these bitches loving me like they ain't so soft. Stop talking with your chest, little bitty bitch, you better hold up. Tell her hit my jacket when she hit me, kill her, hold up. I just want somebody to treat me like somebody, and I like anybody. All you gotta do is love me for me, girl. I just want somebody to treat me like somebody, and I like anybody. All you gotta do is love me for me, girl. I just want somebody to treat me like somebody, and I like anybody.
Check out Airplay 40 on Facebook. Facebook.com/Airplay 40.
That's what's right.
Did you think ice like it's Easter? Say your boyfriend, I still a vista. You could take a pic at the Mona Lisa. Not like a big butt like Go Anika. Me and YG, that's the only feature. We're up when I say Eureka. We hit Cipriani's there, socialista. You get wifey up for the weekend. On one with me, she on one with me. Holding on me, she want control over me. You sexy, raw, boy, you got everything. Not everything, cause you shoot that I need. I'm sick of where you at, I'm trying to reach you. So pull up to me, and I see you. I'm down to meet you. Holding me, she want control of me. I'm sick of where you at, I'm trying to reach you. So pull up to me, and I see you. I'm down to meet you. Holding me, she want control of me. Leave me that loca, help me home. When I sit down, Julio, no Patron. She better do life for no makeup on. Fresh no jeans, I can see the thong. One little essay, decent thirsty. Happy with for the guy, and the new effort. 20 Las Vegas ass with the Jetson. And I'm on it with a sexy. From a brother Carter. I swear he a narco. Just a good turn on when it's dark though. I swear she all gas and uncle. Just a good got that art though. Got all them niggas airline and rush though. Just a good safe art though. Just a good with an L up arch though. Mama see them. Where you at? I'm trying to reach you. So pull up, baby, can I see you? I'm down to meet you. All to meet you, no control of me. Mama see them. Where you at? I'm trying to reach you. So pull up, baby, can I see you? I'm down to meet you. All to meet you, no control of me. Where you at? I'm trying to reach you. So pull up, baby, can I see you? I'm down to meet you. All to meet you, no control of me. Mama see you. Where you at? I'm trying to reach you. So pull up, baby, can I see you? I'm down to meet you. All to meet you, no control of me.
Tiger and YG and Santana, Mamacita is up 3, 2 weeks in the charts at 33 on Airplay 40. So the big question is, what is going to be this week's number one? About 2 hours time, I'll have a sort of clearer picture of what's going to be at the top of the chart. Lizzo has made it 2 weeks at the top of the chart with her latest single called Good As Hell. Will it make it 3 weeks as the most played song on radio stations all around the world over the last 7 days? It's been a close-ring thing at the top of the chart. This was last week's highest new entry. Could it climb and be this week's number one? It's Coldplay and Orphans. It's the first single from their latest album. This was in the top 3 last week. Niall Horan, nice to meet you. Better than one today. Find out, of course, what is going to be number one on this week's Airplay 40 charts very shortly. Let me know what you think should be number one. Tweet me at Airplay 40. You can also send a message through Facebook and also through Instagram as well. Andy Grammer, Wish You Pain, this week's number 32. It's down 2, 3 weeks in the charts for him. This week's Airplay 40 chart.
I hope your doubts come like monsters and terrorize your dreams. I hope you feel the lonely hopelessness, 'cause no one else believes. I hope you question whether you ever really had a chance at all. I
hope you feel it stick like poison. It gets into your blood. I hope you push until you cannot breathe. It's still not enough. I hope you put your life out on the line, and everybody watches while you fall. Cause I love you more than you could know. In your heart it grows every time it breaks. I know that it might sound strange, but I wish you paid. Wish you paid. It's hard to say, but I wish you paid. I hope people break their promises, leave you in the cold. I hope they beat your heart to pieces, worse than you've ever known. I hope you find who you're right, only to find you nowhere to lose. I hope you find tears come streaming down your face. I hope this life drives you in more than you thought you could ever take. I hope that nothing war never falls. Do it on your own. Cause I love you more than you could know. In your heart it grows every time it fades. I know that it might sound strange, but I wish you paid. Wish you paid. It's hard to say, but I wish you paid. I love you more than you could even know. Been here before, I just wanna see you grow. Want you to grow. Cause everything that matters most, I swear it goes by a different name. I know that it might sound strange, but I wish you paid. I wish you paid. It's hard to say. Wish you paid. I love you more than you could even know. Been here before, I just wanna see you grow. Want you to
Airplay 40.
Have you ever lost money on an investment? If a high street bank persuaded you to buy a stocks and shares ISA, unit trust or investment bond and you lost money, Goodwin Barrett may be able to help you get back thousands of pounds in compensation. We've already helped thousands of people just like you claim back millions of pounds. Even if you don't have the investment anymore or the paperwork, Goodwin Barrett make it easy to find out. Text LOST to 60777. Text LOST to 60777 now.
Counting down what you've been listening to.
The biggest songs from the last 7 days.
Airplay 40.
Welcome back to Airplay 40, the top 40 songs played over 250 FM and online stations all around the world. 28 this week, spinning the charts 6 weeks, and Non-Mover, Chainsmokers, Elenium, Lennon, Stella. Take away.
You have for takeaway.
28.
You have for takeaway. You have for takeaway. You have for takeaway.
Hey, 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 where do you think you're going? It's so late, what's wrong? I said I can't stay. Do I have to give reason? It's just me, it's what I want. So how do I get here? Now I'm so caught up. We do this song. Before I love you, na-na-na, I'm gonna leave you, na-na-na. Before I'm someone you leave behind, I'll break your love so you don't break mine. Before I love you, na
still want your heart. Your heart for takeaway. Your heart for takeaway. Your heart for takeaway. Your heart for takeaway. Your heart for takeaway.
Someone you leave behind. I'll break your heart so you don't break mine. For I love you, na na na. I'm gonna leave you, na na na. Even if I am not here to stay, I still want your hand.
Tweet us at Airplay40.
So hard to look me in the eye. With that cross that's on your cheek. I know you only ever bite your lip with something you're afraid to say. Is this the last time I lay my eyes upon
from the script the last time. Foley's in the charts, down 4 at 27 on this week's Airplay 40 chart. 26 is a debut single from a young lady who's just breaking into the music scene. You may have heard of her before. She was the star of the Dora the Explorer film that came out this summer. Isabella Merced, Pappy, new entry, 26 on Airplay 40.
New entry. So you're looking for attention, or did I forget to mention? Don't want frivolous affection, and I don't want it on the first day, or third day, whatever. Close me if you want to, let this baby dance on. So but the next time, even if I fall, never gonna call your puppy, even if it means you're happy, not gonna call your puppy. Even if I could support just your phone and just be honest. I'm happy, even if it hurts. I'm sorry, not gonna call your puppy. Even if I could support just your phone and just be honest. Si me quieres uno, eso espérate. En mi boca son humos, espérate. Si tú dices que me quieres, dices que me amas, ven, relájate. No te meto right now, pasando un rato right now. Te me fascino tan callado. Tell me now, tell me now. You know there's something right now. You know there's something right now. You know you're so pretty now. Tell me now, tell me now. I'm never gonna call you puppy, even if it makes you happy. Not gonna call you puppy, even if I'm separate. You're gonna be honest. You puppy, even if it hurts. I'm sorry, not gonna call you puppy. If you want to, on no public display videos, read my lips, bite the mates, even if I fall, I'm never gonna call you puppy, even if you're happy, I'm not gonna call you puppy, even if I'm surprised, surprised, be honest, you puppy, even if it hurts, I'm sorry, you know you puppy, even if I'm surprised, surprised, be honest.
This is Airplay 40
with Spencer James, 25.
I'm trying to get a taste. Drop the panties to the floor. There's my face. You know I like you. Bring it over my way. Start competing up. You know I can take it. Boy, you're acting like I don't know how to please you. All the nights you're trying to play me like a fever. When I'm kissing you, should know they don't deeper. You feel it deeper when I touch you on deeper. The way you smile. If you look to see, I want you to stay a while. It's just the thing that you do that drive me wild. Feeling getting deeper, just know when I see ya. 'Cause I just wanna freak ya. Cause I'm in between the sheets. Come and give yourself to me. I wanna freak ya. Oh yeah, yeah. You ain't gotta worry about the noise, man. 'Cause I just wanna freak, yeah, freak, yeah, go freak, yeah, oh, freak, yeah, freak, yeah, go freak, yeah, oh. I'm with some colors on the bedroom floor, baby, you scream loud like this, somebody kiss the neighbors talking about the night, all night. When you pick it up, I know what to do, and I'm pennies off, I'm about to get lit. Try to pick you up, I'm the kind of guy that it knew, when you see when it's top, then you know what to do. If you don't see that, just stay a while. The things that you do that drive me wild. Feeling getting deeper, just know that when I see you. Girl, I just wanna freak ya. Whoa, girl, you can live on the sheets. You can bring that ass to me. I wanna freak ya. Whoa,
freak, 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 yeah. Go freak, freak, yeah. Freak, freak, yeah. Freak, 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 yeah. Go freak, freak, yeah.
Jack Rose and Kezia and Freakier on Airplay 40. 5 weeks in the charts. It's down 6.25 on this week's Airplay 40 chart. Hello, this is Spencer James, and the top 40 songs played in over 250 FM and online stations all around the world. Get near to the Airplay 40 website in the coming weeks. Something good fun is on its way. More about that shortly here on Airplay 40. Charlie Puth and Mother is this week's number 24, down 4.
He's such a nice boy, so well-mannered. He's so much better than the rest when you brought around. Please and thank you, everything matters. I'm gonna make sure that she knows I'm the better. She's found the moment she walks out the door. I'm not pretending anymore. If you're more than you are, the things that we do. If you're more than you, sneak out the window, pass over pillows. I'll be waiting in the car right around the block. Back of the Benz, all in the friend zone. We've been hiding since the time we forgot. So now she walks out. More than you are, the things that we do. If you're more than you, she keeps me so far from you. Next time she's scratching and coaching, because she knows God is not really bad to prosecute. Next time she's scratching and coaching, because she knows God is not really bad to prosecute. If your mother knew all of the things that we do. If your mother knew she'd keep me so far from you. She's so special and quick, she don't know me. She's so special and smart, when you talk to me, it's a good thing. She's so special and quick, she don't know me. She knows what all the smart, when you talk to me, it's a good thing. If your mother knew all the things we do. If your mother knew all the things we do. If your mother knew all of the things that we do.
This is Airplay 40.
Airplay 40.
Counting down what you've been listening to.
From the last 7 days, this is Airplay 40, 23.
You got to take me
latest single from the Pet Shop Boys with Years and Years, Dreamland. It's down to 4 weeks in the charts for them, 23 on this week's Airplay 40 chart. Spencer with you and the countdown of the top 40 songs playing over 250 FM online stations all around the world. Kesha and Big Frida, Raising Hell, was a new entry in last week's chart. It's up to this week's 22 on this week's Airplay 40 charts.
Get it. Down where the good Lord steady. Witness all I'm talking about. Holy Spirit, something. Witness speaking in tongues in my blood. I'm not that up in my Sunday best. No, I can sing 'cause I love this stress. Don't make that picture just totally a mess. Yes, I'm blessed. Oh, if you couldn't tell, we can always find the trouble. We don't need no help. The end, oh. Mama raised me well, but I don't wanna go to heaven without raising hell. Up and down where the good Lord steady. Ladies and gentlemen, let's shake what the good Lord gave us. Come on. Ah, dang, this, that, beat like this, wanna shake my whole. Ah, dang, this, that, beat like this, make it shake my whole. Ah, dang, this, that, beat like this, hit it like my whole. Lord, feel it, beat like this, make it go back my way. If you couldn't tell, we can always find the trouble. We don't need no help. Saying no. Mama raised me well, but I don't wanna go to heaven without raising hell. Can I get an amen? This is part of misfits of creation. Take this as a holy validation. You don't need to have me celebrating. This is our salvation.
Airplay 40
with Spencer James.
21.
Somebody that I don't know, but you're taking shots at me like it's Patron, and I'm just like, damn, it's 7 a.m. Say it in the street, that's a knockout, but you say it in a tweet, that's a cop out, and I'm just like, hey, are you okay? And I ain't trying to mess with your self-expression, but I've learned a lesson with stressing and obsessing about somebody else is no fun. And snakes and stones never broke my bones, so you need to calm down. You're being so loud, and it's like, you need to just stop. So can you just not step on my gown? You need to calm down. Somebody that we don't know, but you're coming at my friends like a missile. But you lied. We could be glad. Sunshine on the street at the parade, but you would rather be in the dark age, just making that sign. Must have taken all night. Just need to take several seats and then try to restore the peace and control your urges to scream about other people you hate. Cause shade never made anybody less gay, so on the internet, comparing all the girls who are killing it. But we figured you out, we all know now. We all got crowns, you need to calm down. You need to calm down, you need to calm down. You're being too loud, being too loud. It's like, you need to just stop. Can you stop? But then you just start. Step on the grounds, you need to calm down.
One of the running singles on the Airplay 40 chart, 12 weeks in the charts. Good song as well. Down 5 for Taylor Swift. You need to come down 21 on this week's Airplay 40 chart. We are inching closer, slowly but surely, towards the top of the chart this week. Stand by, the top 20 is on the way for you next.
The recap, 30 to 20.
30 is down 5, Jessie Reyes, Far Away. 29 down 7, Mark Ronson, Yeba, Don't Leave Me Lonely. The Chainsmokers, Lenny Mann, Stella, Takeaways, a non-mover at 28. 27 down 4, The Script. The last time, Isabella Marquez and Pappy. You went to 26, 25 down 6, Jack Rose, Kezia, Freak Kid. Charlie Puth's Mother's down 4 at 24. 23 down a couple, Pet Shop Boys and Years of Dreamland. And Kesha and Big Freedia, Rosie Hell's up to 22. 21 down 5, Taylor Swift, and Need to Calm Down. At the halfway points on this week's Airplay 40 chart. Good swing already. So on the way in the next 10 songs, 8 fallers, 2 new entries. What though is going to be where? 20 this week, 9 weeks in the charts, and down 2 places. Keen and Love Too Much on Airplay 40.
20.
Only want to say that I gave it all I had, that I felt afraid, and I didn't step back. Whether right or wrong, I did everything with love, held it all, gave it all, drank it all. When we make mistakes, and they make us what we are, and we jump right in, throw open all our doors, and we catch a glimpse of something magical. Want it all, take it all, got it all. Then we love too much, or we push too hard, or we fly too high, or we go too far. For a moment I was all that you could see. For a moment I was all that I could be. Nothing can take that away from me. Nothing can take that away from me. And our purest dreams steal something from our lives. They can only live because something else dies. But they lift us up and they make us walk so tall. Got it all, got it all, got it all. Then we love too much, or we push too hard, or we fly too high, or we go too far. For a moment I was all that you could see. For a moment I was all that I could be. Nothing can take that away from me. 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 And the purest dreams, well, they make us feel so high. When you're falling down is when you feel most alive. Whether right or wrong, you do everything with love. Feel it all, give it all, drink it up. Then we love too much, or we push too hard, or we fly too high, or we go too far. For a moment I was all that you could see. For a moment I was all that I could be. And nothing can take that away from me. Nothing can take that away from me. Nothing can take that away from me. Nothing can take that away from me.
Listen again on demand.
Airplay40.com.
19.
I don't wanna be broke, wanna be happy, wanna be living it up in VIP. Trying to get in the club, they wanna see how B.I.D. Want me to wear nice shoes and the T.I.E. I've been working and getting by, but that ain't enough to satisfy. Cause I got dreams for you and I, so I got money on my mind. So if you wanna stack it up, man, you gotta work for it. Ain't nobody gonna be doing it for you. I got dreams and I got time, but that ain't enough to get me by. So stack it up, man, I gotta work for it. Yeah, I got money on my mind. I got money on my mind. I wanna flex hard like D.O.E. But right now my car need the MOT, and I can't get the guy no T.I.P. But like him I got dreams and they B.I.G. Try to be a better guy, but that weren't enough to satisfy. I got dreams for you and I got money on my mind. So if you wanna stack it up, man, you gotta work for it. Ain't nobody gonna be doing it for you. I got dreams and I got time, but that ain't enough to get me by. So stack it up, man, I gotta work for it. Yeah, I got money on my mind. I got money on my mind. I don't come for you, gotta work for it. Lamborghini Urus bought it when I first saw it. She called me creepin', I had to buy her a purse for it. I think if I ain't have money, I'd be the worst for it. And if I ain't have money, I would've been lost. The loudest ones was the brokers, I was a talker. The loudest ones was the brokers, and I was struggling. Girls call me friend, now they owe me that money coming in. Saying the wrong mean, I put it in Louis luggages. Took a sister, he bought her a couple luggages. Wasn't always sweet, Capri Suns for 50 cents. Now I just hate to reminisce. Stack it up, man, you gotta work for it. Ain't nobody gonna be doing it for you. I got dreams and I got time, but that ain't enough to get me by. So stack it up, man, I gotta work for it. Yeah, I got money on my mind. I got money on my mind. I got money on my mind.
Payne with Big Red Hoodie. Stack it up. It's down 6 at 19 on Airplay 40. So the big question is, will Lizzo, good as hell, stay at the top of the chart today? She's been number one for the past 2 weeks. She's been in the charts for 7 weeks. Will she stay at the top of the charts or with a brand new number one? Billie Eilish has been in the top 10 for the last 5 weeks. Could she climb today's number one with All Good Girls Go to Hell?
Look at you, you never let your foot without some green. You should know better. Your cover up is came from me. Never said you for a while, you say me poisoning them stars now. Begging for a help. Wow, Lisbon in California. My time to ignore you. You say
This was last week's Harsher entry, Coldplay, Orphans. That climbing me today's number one. There's another close run thing at the top of the chart. That's what I will say this week. We'll find out, of course, all the big answers in about an hour and a half time here on Airplay 40. On to the countdown this week, and at this week's 18, down one for Halsey, Graveyard. 7 weeks on Airplay 40 for her.
it's crazy when you love the most is the detriment. Let that sink in. Think again. In the hand you wanna hold is a weapon and nothing but skin. Oh, 'cause I keep thinking myself down deeper. Won't stop till I get where you are. I keep running, I keep running, I keep running. Oh, 'cause I keep digging myself down deeper. I won't stop till I get where you are. I keep running and going on deeper. I won't stop till I get where you are. When you go down all your darkest roads, followed all the way to the graveyard. It's funny how warning signs can feel like the butterflies. Oh, 'cause I keep digging myself down deeper. I won't stop till I get where you are. I keep running and going on deeper. I won't stop till I get where you are. When you go down all your darkest roads, I follow all the way to the graveyard.
This is Airplay 40.
Have you ever lost money on an investment? If a high street bank persuaded you to buy a stocks and shares ISA, unit trust or investment bond and you lost money, Goodwin Barrett may be able to help you get back thousands of pounds in compensation. We've already helped thousands of people just like you claim back millions of pounds. Even if you don't have the investment anymore or the paperwork, Goodwin Barrett make it easy to find out. Text LOST to 60777. Text LOST to 60777 now.
The biggest songs from the last 7 days.
Airplay 40. This is Airplay 40.
17.
They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take your hand, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know you stopped me dead while I was passing by. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Ooh, I see you every time. And oh my I like your style. Ooh, you make me want to try. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Say, dance for me, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. Say, move for me, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. I said, oh my God, I see you walking by. Take my hands, my dear, and look me in my eyes. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing my whole life. But you just beg to see me dance just one more time. Ooh, I see you every time. And oh my I like your style. Ooh, you make me want to try. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Say, dance for me, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. Say, move for me, oh. When you're done, I'm back to do the bad again. Say, dance for me, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. Say, move for me, oh. When you're done, I'll make you do the bad again.
former number 1 on Airplay 40 for Tones and I, Dance Monkey. It's down to 17 on Airplay 40 this week, and no weeks in the charts for her on the countdown this week. On to the countdown, this week's number 16s are Next New Entry, 88 Rising, Joji Jackson Wang and Swaley and Major Lazer, Walking, a new entry in Airplay 40.
New entry.
Your friend, you got what I see you walking away. This feels too real. I hope we could be the same. I can find you, I get nowhere. I just wanna reason it's over. I need you to know. I need you to know. So nobody, baby, never done the right time. I mean, what I catch you for far. What it's gonna take to make you shake your worries away. I finally see you face to face. It's your beauty, girl, that's your frame. And I can't wait. You look teeny, 'cause you look sunbathed. Usually I don't even trip, but I can't see you walking away. You don't even know how I do all this one day. Got the music, got the juice, yeah, we can't lose it. Playing for keeps, I don't wanna waste time. Baby, we can take a ride. Running silence, said I can't stop, jump on a jet, we can go and win. Baby, know we got it in the palm of my hand, so all time, baby, I love like you think you could get. Baby, I go by, it's like I'm Skywalker. Want you, baby, I'm real smooth talker. What it's gonna take, what it's gonna take to make you shake your worries away. I'm finally see you face to face. It's your beauty, girl, that's your frame.
See the chart online.
Airplay40.com. 15.
Feeding darkness turns to dust. Everyone's gone, but no one's leaving. Nobody left but us. Try to chase a feeling, but we'll never feel it. Riding on our last train home. Dying in our sleep, we're living out a dream. We only make it out alone. I just keep on hoping that you call me. You say you wanna see me, but you can't right now. You never took the time to get to know me. We're scared of losing something that we never found. We're running out of reasons, but we can't let go. Yeah, Hollywood is bleeding, but we call it home. Outside, the wind sky's turning gray. It's funny, I swear it rains. I let the moving go to sleep in the day. I feel everybody to the drugs fade away. Ain't no money, but we had the sun with the shit. She gotta check the pulse, she gotta check if she okay. It seems like I'm young, it's in on her. Before me at my funeral, I don't wanna know. Go out there, eyes on me. Show up to you what you see. And they gon' believe on me. Let them shove it on the teeth. This is what I can handle. Blood in my Lambo. Wish I could go, I'm losing all. I light a candle. some Palo Santos for all these demons. Wish I could just go home. I just keep on hoping that you call me. You say you want to see me, but you can't right now. You never took the time to get to know me. We're scared of losing something that we never felt. We're running out of reasons, but we can't let go. Yeah, Hollywood is bleeding, but we call it home.
Latest single from Post Malone. It's down 4 at 15 on Airplay 40. Hollywood's Bleeding on the Airplay 40 chart this week. So we still have 2 new entries to play on Airplay 40. One of them is Tiesto and Mabel. One of them is Bebe Rexha. What do you think will be this week's highest new entry? Where do you think it's going to go into the chart? I can tell you this week's 14 is the latest new entry to come in from this lady.
So won't you ride with me, see where this thing goes. If it's meant to be, it'll be, baby, it's meant to be. So come on, ride with me, see where this thing goes. So come on, ride with me, baby, it's meant to be.